In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
Well, hello and welcome to an actual social distance show called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate, and everything in between in search of greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
We're alive.
We're here.
We did it.
We made it.
We're back together.
Although distant by
Sort
2
of-
meters.
sort of
kind
distant.
of. No,
Sort of
it's not
distant.
2 meters.
Distanced enough.
No. I mean,
Well, it's 1 meter plus, isn't it?
yeah.
And I'd say we
are
that.
each a metre apart from each other.
We measured it.
and you're
We
facing,
didn't.
you're like 90 degrees to me.
It's very inconvenient.
Which means
the
if
way
you
the way
spit,
I'm sat.
Yeah,
It
I'm
won't
sorry
go
about
in.
that.
That's
Yeah.
I'll live with it.
More than anything, I blame the table.
Yes.
You could have got a square table.
Where's this table from?
This is an IKEA original, I feel.
Bad IKEA. Don't do that again.
Yeah.
The in case anyone is picking up like a slightly different like ambiance, like in the echoes and everything.
It's the energy we're bringing.
yeah, it's we've all grown.
I've become very echoey in my isolation.
I'm adding some reverb naturally to myself.
Yeah, we've all fattened up our vocal cords from like 6 months of
My
not.
throat's like a fucking cathedral.
Yeah. It's like a bell tower in here.
What I was gonna say is, we're not in our padded studio
No, that's right.
because at the best of times, even in health, even in not in a time of cholera.
That room became a boy miasma.
Yeah, I think that is a breeding ground for disease.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, it could have been where it all began. I don't know
Yeah.
for sure. I don't want to say that.
And all those like foam tiles on the wall are very absorbent.
Oh,
So
yeah.
God knows how much like particulate matter is.
It's the equivalent of cutting a tree open and seeing all the rings through it. If you cut open one of those baffles on the wall, you just see viruses
Yeah.
just all the way down.
They're not meant to be blue.
New
They're white
viruses,
when I bought
old
them.
viruses you thought had been eliminated years before.
Yeah.
Oh, bubonic plague. That's
Yeah.
retro.
Oh,
that's good to
Oh.
see.
Oh,
Ooh, textbook.
brings a smile to you, doesn't it?
Looking back on those days.
Well, we're actually in the kitchen, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Well, we're in the dining area.
The dining area of the
Of
kitchen.
Just
yeah.
to stipulate.
One of your largest, more open rooms.
Yeah, of the
you might
many
say.
rooms in our palatial
In the
house,
wing, in this
basically.
wing,
Yeah.
would you
Yeah,
say,
we're in
yeah.
the east wing kitchen.
Yes.
And then the southeast wing kitchen.
This is the
next door.
This is the cooking kitchen. We
Yes,
don't, yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
It's only got 4 furnaces.
Yes.
And a pizza oven.
A wine cooler.
We and a separate oven for firing my pottery.
Yes, of course.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
which I pay a poorer person to make for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
In a separate wing of the house that they're not allowed to leave.
The poor
basically.
wing.
Yes. Yeah, the poor wing. But no, we're in the kitchen because Lucy has taken over the podcast studio to turn it into her home office.
Very selfish.
Which is fair enough considering we've not set foot in this house for 6 months.
Yes,
I
actually.
think that's probably fair.
That's pretty good.
Just about.
I just do think it's strange that 6 months go by and your wife just goes, I don't care about Nick and,
Yeah.
Nick's feelings about the room he wants to record his
Yeah,
beloved podcast in. I just think, is that all it takes? 6 months and your wife just doesn't care anymore?
The thing is, if you stuck to the original plan of us just boarding you up in that room,
That would have worked very well.
still welcome that
I have
plan.
to have to protect the brand.
Nail the door
I'm so
shut.
sorry.
Okay, yeah, small mercies, I guess. Small mercies.
And then the laughter died.
Oh, now what?
I don't remember what it's like to be in a room with people, especially doing a podcast. So this
Well, I
is...
feel like we've built up to this because originally we were doing solid audio where we couldn't see each other.
Yeah, pure audio.
In
Yeah.
March.
pure...
March. Wait, I remember it. Yeah.
I remember
dense
March
audio.
vaguely, like it was yesterday
you
and yet 5 years ago.
Do you remember that optimism where it's like, yeah, this will be over soon.
Yeah.
This will be fine.
Everyone put, yeah, I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Oh god. Then we started doing it on Zoom,
Yes.
so we could see each other.
Yeah, that was a big upgrade, in my opinion,
Yeah, and now here we are
in the meat space.
via a couple of meetups and a new log burner you have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We've hung out outside in your
Yes.
garden.
I mean, that was
Not today.
I mean, because I wouldn't want anyone listening to think we've all been reckless. Because I think I think
We've been
very cautious. Very cautious.
Cautious
Yeah.
would be
I was
the
trying to
word.
think of another word, but cautious, but I just went with it.
Yeah, because I mean, even though we all live probably in like a mild triangle,
Yeah,
If
that, like
if
half
the
the
Cheltenham
yeah.
Triangle.
They do call it that.
They do.
the Golden Triangle.
Illuminati.
We are Illuminati, yeah.
But yeah, even though the fact that we live like really close to each other, we haven't been close. I mean, emotionally for years, but like actually, physically,
We're like
It's
blood
been
now.
petering out for about
Yeah.
10 years, 15 years.
I think for a good. I mean, because we were on Zoom like having like maybe a weekly quiz or something, weren't we?
Oh,
yeah,
sure,
that's now stopped.
That's
Yeah.
all the quizzes have petered out. I
Yeah,
found.
just around the same time.
the early
Yeah.
days.
I'll be honest, mid-April I was fed up with quizzes.
In the early days, there was a quiz every night. I couldn't keep up with the
Yeah.
with the sheer
Yeah, it
volume
was,
of quizzes. Now there is none.
You got a bit drunk with quiz energy, didn't you? Because
Yeah.
you were doing like 4 quizzes a week.
I
or
loved it
something,
at
weren't you?
first. I was doing 4, and then by the end I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm not sure I can cram any more knowledge
You were
into my
basically a
head.
full-time quiz master.
I was a
for
bit,
a few
yeah.
weeks there.
It got to a point where the same questions were coming up.
Yeah.
And bear in mind how many questions there are on this planet.
Arguably an infinite number.
Arguably ever increasing. I thought now's probably the time to stop this.
Also, you were the only one of us who was furloughed, so you were like probably trying desperately to fill your time with.
I was.
raw
Initially, I was,
quiz
yeah.
power.
Painted
yeah.
the bathroom, that feels like it was about 10 years ago now.
Oh yeah.
And there's still jobs I need to do, but...
It's so funny. Like I went through definitely. I guess it's kind of like the 5 stages of grief or whatever. Because I genuinely feel like I've gone through different phases of lockdown.
Yeah, I can remember different quarantine Nicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the optimistic quarantine Nick, the really oh good God, this is it now. This is all over.
This is our
quarantine
lives.
Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a load of species. Got to catch.
I missed my long hair because my hair got quite long
Yeah.
at one point, and now obviously the barbers are back open. It's sort of back to
I
normal.
still haven't gone to a proper barber yet, as you
No,
can
me
probably
neither.
tell.
Yeah,
But
well, you shaved your head though.
So did I.
You shaved your head also, yeah.
yeah, I went. Things.
But yours are back. Your hair's pretty much both of you back to normal now. I would say.
Mine's on the long, and it's a
Yeah.
weird kind of long mine because it's all the same
It's
length.
uniformly long.
Yeah,
isn't
which
it?
looks
Yeah.
really stupid actually.
I had to, at your suggestion, Rev. I actually went back and
Yeah.
tied it up again. So the second the sides have gone down
I've
again.
been meaning to do that.
Well, I should have just shaved it all off at the start. In retrospect, I
Yeah.
should have shaved it all off at the start. But I ended
But you didn't
up...
know if it had been like a day.
Exactly, I didn't know any
Oh, it's
better.
over. We're fine now.
If I could go back in time and do one thing, I would tell my younger self from 6 months ago,
Shave your head.
just cut it all off.
Your hair was pretty powerful, actually.
I liked it. Liz
Yeah.
hated it.
Okay.
She said I look creepy. She actually used a different word, but I won't say what that word was.
Okay. Well, even creepy's really bad.
Yeah.
You know.
But the whole
but
kind of
yeah,
short
it's
backing,
sort of where it is now.
short backing sides was very much the thing.
I really liked it. I would have kept growing it
Yeah.
if it was up to me.
thing is, I desperately wanted that. Like that was my dream, and it was getting there.
You tried it. It didn't
You
work.
gave up. I was disappointed.
I gave up because I made a mistake.
Oh.
You know, it's a kind of
been there. Were you trying to groom-
irrevocable? That's one.
Irrevocable.
Were you trying to groom and you
Well,
missed?
my problem is I was using my my beard razor.
Sure.
You know, and I was like, you know, I had it. The thing is, if I'd gone short, you know, you can't do it by halves.
No.
There's no point doing.
Why
it on,
would
like-
you?
You don't want to shave half your head.
No, well, no, well, exactly,
an
no.
idiot.
But I was trying to do it on
Not
like
after the last time.
on like the highest setting, so I wasn't
that
like
doesn't-
bold
that
on the
doesn't
side of
work.
my, and I just couldn't get any purchase.
You wouldn't know.
So I was getting like these.
You
kind
should have
of
called me before you did this, John.
Well, what
I'm an expert.
You'd have come over in your hazmat suit and
No, I could have guided you through it.
yeah. But no, it will grow back. It was traumatic.
It's fine. Yeah, it looks fine.
It was traumatic shaving the whole thing.
What's that?
Yeah, well, I mean, he'll back it.
Yeah, because we knew I'd call him a microphone head.
Yeah.
That's true.
The weird thing is that when my hair is shorter, it somehow looks bigger because
Yeah.
it's like a mole. It's like the back of a mole.
Your head looks smaller when your hair grows.
Yeah, I think it hides how
Yeah.
fat my head is.
It's getting.
actually.
It's all in balance, isn't it? It's all in proportion.
Yeah.
Which it looks now, to be fair.
I just feel like I have so much personality tied up in my hair. Like when I shaved my head, I was like, oh great, he's a Playmobil man. Like he's got nothing going for him. He's just a blank canvas. I look like a bowling pin.
Yeah, you look like a pale yellow balloon.
Yeah, you've got nothing going for you. Because when you buzzed your head, you didn't. It's not like you went.
I went down to like a 2 or a 3. Like it was pretty down.
Yeah.
But like no one saw me. And I had the advantage, you see, because I was, what was it, when I was shielding?
Yes.
Because of my crazy illnesses that I have a myriad of. And so I knew that I was inside for the next 2.5, 3 months, whatever it was. So unlike you guys were like, oh, do I shave? Do I not? Because I don't know when it's going to be
You
over.
knew you'd be
I knew I
okay.
had to be in. So I could shave confidently. The instant I got that letter, I was like, let's do it.
Let's do it, yeah! Do you get a letter for each ailment?
I was expecting this, and I was hoping it, because then I'd have like 20 different... No, I went there.
Oh,
No, I don't.
Oh, hysterical pregnancy. We're fine.
No, I just got the one. I think I have a hot mix.
Yeah.
And when those, like, all those lights light up, a special other light lights
Dear
up.
God.
Ding, 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 ding,
Put a
ding.
first-class stamp on this letter.
Quick, get a seagull, anything. Yeah.
But you're okay now.
Oh, I've always been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the doctors think it's worse than it is.
Okay.
I just have these illnesses.
Well, it's important that you feel differently to the medical professionals.
It's my body. I know.
Isn't it
I-
weird that
my choice.
my rules.
at the time, everyone who was told to shield was like 3 months indoors, and everyone was like, "Sweet Jesus,
Yeah.
what are they all going to do?" And then we've all been indoors for about 5 months.
That was the crazy
Yeah.
thing. When I got that letter, I thought, oh, that's just going to be me, and everyone else is going to be out in a month's time
Yeah.
or whatever. But then it ended up, lockdown actually went beyond my shielding time.
Yeah.
Like my letter came out saying, hey, you can go back into the world before the Prime Minister said we could all go back into the world,
Yeah.
which is kind of mad.
And were they like...
And who would not listen to him?
Then we sent-
Beloved Prime
then we
Minister.
sent you a second letter and they were like, you're actually too healthy. Like, you need to go lick
Yeah.
a stranger or something.
Yeah, can you
Just go
wipe
touch all
it
the
in?
fences and the barriers.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're all right.
I'm great.
Yeah.
Never been better.
Everyone's fine.
There was
as far as
literally
we
never
know.
anything. Just to clarify, there was literally never anything wrong with me. I just got a letter. That was it. That was it. That's the worst thing. I could have got a paper cut from the letter, and I would have been worse than I was.
Probably, yeah.
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 I mean, yeah. I was going to say something like completely inane, and I just go like, oh yeah, it's been weird, hasn't it? I mean,
it's been
but yeah,
It has been weird.
it has been strange.
It's a fair
yeah.
comment.
We're talking a bit like it's all over, and I want to stress that I don't necessarily feel that way.
No,
Like,
No.
it is sort of we're coming out the other side of it. I feel in terms of how we're being told to act and how the people in the world are acting. That doesn't mean mentally I'm there.
no, I'm certainly not. And like,
This weekend, because it's bank holiday weekend.
Yeah.
This is, we're recording on the Friday before the August bank holiday. This weekend feels like it's a fairly big weekend in terms of a hurdle.
Yeah.
Like it feels like next week people are people are going out to the office and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yes, there's a
Because
lot
you
of that,
are,
isn't there?
I am.
yeah,
And
and I've got.
you?
I've already been.
You've
for the
already
last few
been,
weeks,
Yeah.
so.
Well, you have like quite a small workplace, don't you? So it's not like there's hundreds of people coming and going.
Obviously,
not
the
at all,
kids are
no.
going back to school,
Yeah.
stuff like that. It feels like after this weekend, that's another step, a big one.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. It's interesting because I kind of realised something about myself that I could probably go on like this forever.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
for
could.
sure.
Yeah.
I
For sure,
could.
for sure.
The only thing I've missed, apart from sort of the obvious of being locked indoors, is football.
Oh,
yeah.
Like going to football and seeing my friends at football and going into London and whatever.
Well, yeah, and
It's no hardship. It's just been something I've missed.
yeah, and I mean, like, and I've been thinking, you know, what's the future of Comic Cons? Like, you know,
Yeah, that's been a
how's
big
that
thing.
gonna pan out? But it's weird. It's mad. Like if it hadn't been for a global pandemic.
Oh god.
Oh
no! Oh no! What have you done?
Oh, no, it's burning through your
We
flesh.
spoke about it too much, and now it's here.
Made it real.
See like metal shutters coming down across the window. Not like this. We'll kill each other.
It's like the end of ET. They all come to the house.
Attention, you are being quarantined. Attention.
I completely lost my train of thought. It probably wasn't important.
I'm gonna go to the fridge.
Please, I'll have one.
Because
as well,
we're all
please.
kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah. Wash your hands. Yeah.
Okay.
No, don't. It's fine.
already washed them.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah.
What were we talking about just before I
Comic-Cons?
exploded?
I don't
Oh,
know.
Comic Cons. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the things we've missed.
I think like, yeah, because like living.
I'll get one in a minute.
Yeah, this is great.
Very unprofessional.
Foley, yeah. I'll have a Peroni if you wouldn't mind. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry, we'll fix this in post. This won't be in.
I'm sure this is.
Yeah.
This is unfixable.
Yeah. It's like I want to push. I don't want to be too much of an introvert, you know, because I think like in my heart of hearts, this suits me perfect. But I realise that like if I never had anything putting me out of my comfort zone, I really wouldn't leave the house ever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like oh, thank you. Thank you. With the exception of going to the supermarket and like B&Q, that was like the most adventurous thing I was doing forever, really.
Doesn't that feel like a long time ago now, though? When we couldn't leave our house for more than an hour.
Yeah.
You couldn't drive anywhere
Yeah.
apart from the shops.
Yeah,
Doesn't that seem like a while ago if you think about it?
That was an actual thing that we
Yeah.
had to do.
Seems weird now.
Yeah. I remember like there was a really kind of like the only moment where it felt kind of dark was when I think it was around that time. It was when they were really strict on how you can't go out for more than a certain thing. You can't walk more than 5
You
months.
could only
Yeah.
go within walking distance, and it could only be for an hour.
You had to have a 20-meter rope around your neck,
Yeah.
tied to your house, and you could walk the length. Do you remember the ropes that they were selling? And everyone had to wear the
Oh, yeah.
quarantine ropes.
Yeah.
And then they all got tangled in the street. And we were tangled up with our neighbours for hours.
And I remember writing to the government and asking, "What if you don't have a rope?"
yeah.
I have 20 lengths of 1 meter rope.
Yeah. I don't know. But if I tie them together, they become less than a meter because of the knot area.
Yeah.
What am I to
there's-
do?
There's no perfect knot, is there, Bojo?
Oh God.
But we
The rope days.
Hashtag. I remember rope days. But no, we were in the garden just digging a hole, which is what we often did.
For the bodies.
Yeah, preparing for the worst. And
Dig towards freedom.
we heard like a police siren, and then we heard like a voice on like a tannoy, and it was kind of like too far away to really make out.
really?
But it sounded proper dystopian,
Like end of the world.
Get indoors.
yeah, like do not mingle, go straight home.
Don't touch your friends. Don't touch your friends.
Now the only thing we have to worry about is militant ice cream men kind of doing the round.
I tell you what, they
are everywhere.
Their
Yeah.
patrols. Like, they are on it. I swear I heard one at like 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Doing the graveyard ice cream shift.
There was one
Hot
the other
ice
day. There was one the
Alright.
other day who played on as his jingle all day. Happy birthday. All day.
Maybe it was his birthday.
Oh, still.
What a celebration.
What is that?
I am going to fire up the roof for a full 24 hours
That's
because it's my
That's an
birthday.
act of terrorism. I'm sorry.
Do you think he was actually trying to get people to bring him gifts?
Well,
Could've been.
I tell you what, that might have worked. What a strategy.
Oh, I wish I had now.
There was one time, this is not a joke, that I heard 2 simultaneous ice cream musics.
Yeah.
They did not harmonise. They were not playing the same tune.
Oh no.
It was
I mean, we're
glorious.
backing down either.
What a mess.
I think it was the equivalent of a turf war. Like, that's how ice cream vans fight. They just up the volume until the
Yeah.
speaker
Yeah.
blows. Whoever blows first has to leave.
I do love that. I love whenever I see 2 brands next to each other selling a similar thing.
Yeah.
I go, oh god, I bet they hate each other. Yeah. Like, they absolutely hate each other.
It'd be very disappointing if they just were like, yeah, well.
Because we live on like a little loop, like a little looped cul-de-sac, and when the ice cream van comes around, he's like kind of just crawling along the pavement, like just daring anyone to come.
Yeah, looking straight through your living room window.
Yeah, and the noise is kind of deafening. It's like a massive.
Resonates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're lucky that we live off the road, so he never comes down where we are.
No.
Well, I suppose you could look at it as being lucky or unlucky, depending on whether or not you want an ice cream.
Is it lucky or unluckier than having a massive tree collapse in your garden?
God, that was annoying.
That happened. Yeah,
That
Storm
happened this
Francis
week.
kicked down your garden.
Francis battered my tree. The scumbag.
Battered my tree.
Battered my tree. So half my tree, my tree basically split in half, which is unfortunate. I went out there to do some strimming, because I love doing it, for a start. And
Only person on the
yeah,
planet.
it's great. I love doing it.
Wait,
I trimmed the driveway. It was great.
Yeah,
There's no grass there, it's just gravel.
a ground
Like
strip.
one of
or-
these.
Yeah.
There's no grass out front, though, is there? You're just trimming grass.
There was a tiny amount of weeds in the
It's not
cracks
now.
of the driveway. Well, they've grown back, so I'll have to go out trimming again.
Oh, whatever.
I did put weed killer down. Anyway,
Sure.
there was a puppy coming round, so I thought, I'll go out and I'll trim because there's nettles and all that around the back.
Yeah.
So I go out and the tree is down on the lawn, and I go, that's different.
Something's different.
Something's
here.
changed, and it made the garden really dark. It was really weird.
Yeah, because you sent us photos, and the photos did not do justice to how big that is.
Yeah, it's a pretty big collapse.
Yeah.
So we have now with your saw. I was gonna say axe then.
yeah.
With your
I have
saw.
an axe if you like one.
Oh, all right. Maybe I will. Cut it back, and I have now cut the main bit that's fallen off the rest of the tree.
Oh, cool.
So I just need to chop it up now.
Sure.
And you can have some fire.
I would
burn
love
out.
some fire. That'd be fantastic.
So we literally got to chop it up now. But it's in the garden, but the garden is now accessible at least.
Okay, that's something.
So yeah, it's all right. It's annoying, but it's not the end of the world.
The this is kind of reminding me of we were chatting just before coming on air that like I've ended up with too many loves this week. It's been really hard.
ironic, isn't it?
It's been really hard to kind of choose the correct love.
We'll be the judge of that.
Wait. That's correct. You have to pick the right one, do you?
Well, I think it was the right love for the right moment.
I see. I've never thought about that before.
I just do it. Whatever.
So I want to give a very quick honorary shout out to 2 loves that didn't.
Can't you use them at a later date?
Well,
Or are they time sensitive?
no. I choose to believe there will be more love in the future that I can find.
All right, well, that's
So
fine.
what you're saying is you want to
decide.
start are typically very, very restricted.
very regimented
regimented
podcast. Yeah.
You want to kick it off with love.
No.
Oh.
No, I think if we're very subtle and we don't draw attention to it, we can just weave these into the general conversation.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you haven't...
Well, I think we've done that very successfully.
I think so far we're doing really well at that, because you haven't highlighted it.
No, it's fine.
We certainly haven't dwelt on it.
So what I'll do is, I'll start a conversation.
In a minute.
Yeah, in a minute.
So we've not started yet?
No, God
Okay,
knows.
we've
No.
not started.
It'll be
more...
That's good to know, because this has all been garbage.
It'll be more natural. It'll be
We're
very...
brainstorming in a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
So I'll start a conversation.
Okay.
And then the listeners won't be able to see it, but I'll gesture to the two of you.
Okay. Right,
that
right.
like this is the love coming.
What's the gesture going to be?
It will be like
Something subtle, I'd imagine.
it will be like a wink.
Okay.
And just to really emphasize a wink, I will pause.
Sure.
So
sure.
the-
I was going to say, I think there needs to be... Yeah.
And
There needs to be an audio wink, I would say.
Or a lack of audio.
Yeah, a lack of audio because we don't want
that's what I mean.
we don't want the listener to know.
The pause
listener
is
won't
in
know.
itself audio.
Well, I don't think it'll be that noticeable.
Oh, sure.
But I'll make sure it's long enough that the two of you
That we know. But
Yeah,
the
that you
listener-
know.
Indistinguishable.
Yeah,
That
it
they
just,
know.
it'll just went out.
I understand.
Yeah. So I might start like so yeah, that firewood, I bet that would work great on my new fire pit.
Yeah.
Because I've got a fire pit.
You got...
now.
Oh, so you got a fire pit?
Yeah, I got a fire pit. It's like a big.
Do you love it?
I'm quite fond of it.
Fond of
really.
it.
Yeah.
Fond of it.
And just for concept of fire, I've realised I quite enjoy burning things.
Absolutely. I like
Yeah.
I like
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. So that's that's like
It is good.
a
That's
minor
something that you like.
yeah, something I like. Yeah, like a show called Like. Sort
What
of
if
thing,
people were to look at your latest YouTube entry? They might
They
see.
wouldn't
said
be able to find it.
Oh well, forget that then.
Oh, you really goofed that up.
It really,
Why is it a private link?
it's an unlisted video. Yeah,
All right. Well, if
very
they're friends with you on Facebook, they might be able to.
we
Find
might be able to find it.
If not, forget it. Or
Yes.
text me and I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Against John's will.
Yeah.
Just friend request John. Like, if you're listening, just friend request John.
Friend
on
request
Facebook.
John.
If you search John Locke, there's probably only one. I don't know.
If there's one thing I know about John, it's that he won't remember who you are, regardless of whether or not he's met you.
no. Just
Fact.
Cool. Just change your name in your Facebook profile to like seeking Russian wife.
Yeah.
And
And then you'll know.
Nigerian prince.
yeah,
That
change,
kind of
change
thing.
it to RussianHoneys.com and then just Google search generic woman and because and really misspell like
Yeah.
any kind of friend requests that come
And put some
through.
emojis in there.
Loads of emojis.
Get some
yeah.
emojis in it.
And then ask John to send you $100 so you can then send him $1,000 just
Send me
to release the funds.
Send me 100 payments of $1.
Yeah.
But another thing I'm quite fond of, wink.
You said something then. Don't worry.
sorry,
don't
no, I
worry.
said it out loud.
it's
No.
ruined.
And we'll sort it in post. It's
Yeah,
fine.
they won't be hearing this, no.
No.
But just before the two of you came over, we totally discovered by blind
Oh,
chance
yes, we've spoken
a
about
new
this.
YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so taken with the sheer joy of this creator that I was almost like, no, screw it. This is my love. This is going to be my love. This guy called Bo Miles.
But this isn't your love.
This isn't my love.
This isn't a
No,
love.
because we're not on the love segment of our very regimented.
We're still in the very, very long warm-up.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
I just wanted to bring up the fact that this guy is amazing.
So this isn't your love.
This isn't my love.
Fine,
No, because we're
fine.
not in the love section of the show. Yeah.
But you can see why I'm confused.
Well, it has been a while. I can
has been a while,
understand. So he's got he gets like millions of views. So people probably have heard of him. I'm just slow. I haven't heard of him.
Sure.
But he's like the most Australian man
Yeah.
I've probably ever seen or heard like in the visual medium.
Sure.
And now we've mentioned Brave Dave before.
We have.
Have we mentioned him on this show? I
I feel
we
we
must.
I feel we've mentioned Brave Dave at
must
least
have.
once an episode for the last 10.
Yeah.
But it's Brave Dave.
Yeah.
Who is an idiot who somehow didn't die while riding a train across
I'm
Canada.
stunned that he is alive.
Yeah, he
Okay.
probably should have died on multiple occasions.
We can't get into Brave Dave again.
No.
We
We
mustn't.
We've got to move on.
We'll summon him.
And there's a guy called Geo Wizard who walked across Wales in a dead straight line.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like a toy that competed
that a-
with
is that a
Beyblade or
YouTube?
something.
He's on the YouTube
that's
as
a
well.
YouTube
Yeah. So we randomly discovered this guy called Bo Miles, who is possibly the nicest living being on the planet.
B-E-A-U.
BEAU.
You.
And basically, we watched a video of his where, in the course of a day, he walked an abandoned railroad in Australia, which was like 43k. So he ran it in a day.
He ran it.
He ran it in a day, and he's just kind of like talking while he does it, and it's professionally shot, and there's drones, and he's got a couple of mates filming him. So it's very well made, and he's very like, and he just has little like, he's like a philosopher. He just kind of like talks about stuff, and he just comes across like so well. And there's a bit where, that just made me like fall in love with him. There's a bit where like Brave Dave, he's trespassing, or like Geo Wizard, he's totally trespassing in someone's garden. But like he's running across a farmland, and he climbs a little hill and he goes, "All right, yeah, here comes the coppers," and you see like the camera like pangs aside for a second. You just hear like a bit of chat. He goes, "G'day, mates, how you doing?" And he goes, "Yeah," and you just hear this voice. So he's being filmed by a mate. You've got like the police car on this like country road, and him by the side of a road, and you just hear this voice of a police officer going like, "Oh yeah, we've had some reports of a guy matching your description, just like going through a paddock, scaring some animals." He goes, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, mate. I'm working my way along the old railway line." He goes, "All right, yeah, right." He goes, "How long's that then?" 43k. He goes, "All right, yeah." He goes, "So is it all right if I carry on?" "Yeah, mate. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah." It's like, "Yeah, good on you."
It's good for you.
Drove off. It was amazing. He's just like, "Yeah, what's a good word?"
Yeah, I was thinking of that Simpsons episode.
"I'm going to call the Prime Minister. Dave."
All right, mates.
What's a good word?
Well, it's funny you should mention Australia, John.
Australia?
Yes. Because I could segue very
Into-
conveniently into my hate.
Oh my.
Oh.
Are we going to alienate our thousands of
No,
listeners
actually,
in Australia?
we're not.
I hate
okay.
Australia.
It vaguely links to Australia, and I'll tell you why. My hate is Wanted Down Under,
Right.
Okay, I'm vaguely familiar with
which
this.
is a BBC One daytime television show.
Oh, daytime.
Daytime, presented by
Strong
Nicky
start.
Chapman, who used to be a judge on the Pop Idol.
The Pop Idol.
The Pop Stars.
Oh,
One
God.
of them.
He was like the chrysalis
No.
that Simon Cowell
Well, you're
hatched
think-
from.
she is a woman.
Oh.
You're thinking of
Who am I
someone
thinking
else.
of? Who am I thinking of? I don't know.
I don't know.
Isn't there like a
There's Louis
radio
Walsh,
presenter called Nicky something?
Nick Grimshaw.
No.
Nicky Grimshaw.
Nicky Grimshaw.
What do you say her name was?
Nicky
You said it earlier.
No, Nicky Campbell is the radio presenter.
Thank you. I see what I'm thinking.
I think her name is Nicky Chapman.
Chapman.
You said Chapman.
I
Oh,
said Chapman.
I'm just repeating what
No,
you
he-
said.
Oh, no,
okay,
it's
you said
Chapman.
Chapman.
You're thinking of Nicky Campbell.
I'm thinking of Nicky Campbell,
It's presented by Nicky Chapman.
Oh, okay.
The one
Who's
you
a
don't
woman?
know.
And how is Nicky Campbell involved?
He isn't.
He's Wanted
He's
Down
on Long
Under.
Lost Family.
Right,
Nicky
okay.
Campbell. Anyway,
Well, that was
so
great.
she presents it, inverted commas.
Right.
She's basically on a beach somewhere.
Sure.
And she films all her links clearly at once.
Did she
Oh,
film
is this the show where they're buying houses?
Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
she goes, "Oh, now we're gonna join the Smith family from Chepstow," and the family is always thinking of upping roots and moving to Australia or New Zealand.
Well, I would hope so, because that's probably the point of the show.
What if they
That's the
came to
point
her
of
on the
show.
beach and it's like, I want to live in China. I
But
want to
she-
live
but
in
they never
China.
meet Nicky Chapman. She just films her links and that's it.
Oh, I thought they met her on the beach.
No, she just goes, "Hi, I'm Nicky Chapman. Let's go and see this family in Chepstow."
So she's just living it up on the beach.
So
They present the show themselves.
Brilliant.
Is it an Australian beach? Is it an Australian beach?
I have no idea.
So it could just
It
be.
could be Bognor Regis.
It could be
fun.
Blackpool, yeah.
So let's be charitable and say there's like 24 episodes in a series.
Okay.
Did she film all the intros and outros
Yeah.
in one day?
Yeah, she
Without-
literally tops and tails the show.
Is she in the same clothes?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
They're getting increasingly soiled as
Yeah.
as it goes on.
She gets increasingly frazzled during the day. So then you join the family, and the family, like, the mum works, let's say, as a teacher, the dad works at a, I don't know,
Quarry.
paper mill or something. I
Paper
don't know.
quarry, let's say.
Paper quarry, one of them. And they're like, "Yeah, I mean, we like it here in Chepstow, but we're just wondering what would be best for our growing family. We've got 2 kids. You know, they like school, they like everything,
No, they
but we
don't.
just want the best life for them."
Yeah.
Whatever. So
It's always something
the next,
like that.
The next 45 minutes to an hour is taken up with them going to Australia for a week, and they rent somewhere in the area of Australia they want to live in.
Right.
They go and look at some houses.
Okay.
They go and see what activities in the local area they can get
Oh,
up to.
wow.
They look at the schools.
Do they try a couple out?
Sure, whatever. They
Ooh.
go like hoeing or something.
It's like a zip wire. Oh, let's
Yeah.
move here,
we
darling.
can come
have
here
zip wires in
after
Britain.
school every day. And after each round, so let's say the house, looking at a house is a round.
Okay.
And they compare it, and the rent, and the shopping, and all that. They compare it to what they're currently paying in the UK.
In Chepstow.
And
Chepstow.
And it's astronomically more expensive.
Usually it is,
yeah.
So then they give them...
It's just the dad is like, oh, God.
So everyone gets a vote, including the fucking
Like
kids.
a gold envelope. And let's look at the...
Jesus. The budget doesn't even stretch to that. The budget doesn't even stretch that. So even the kids get a vote. Don't know why. They're not paying.
No.
So the mum, the dad, let's say there's 2 kids, each get an A4 laminate. One has got the English or British flag on it.
Oh, no.
The other has got the Australian flag in, and they have to flip the laminate.
And that for their vote.
For their vote, they keep flipping the laminate. And they go, for housing, our vote goes to... And they're still flipping the laminate, still going to build the suspense. And it's just the laminate in their hand.
Just a laminated A4 piece of
Laminated
paper.
A4
All they
piece of
had to do
paper.
was make 4 bits of wood that were painted. It would look infinitely better.
Hold it up and they'll go, England, Australia, or whatever. And sometimes they'll be undecided and they'll just hold the piece of paper horizontally. So you could,
That shouldn't be an option.
That shouldn't be
it's
allowed.
like, they just go, you could just hear a mess of voices going, United Kingdom, Australia, undecided. And it's like, oh God, that was pointless. That's
The bare
20 minutes I'll
minimum
get back.
conceit of this show is that they have to vote on either Australia or the UK.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't even do that, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're
and
like...
then, so that the end emotional point is their friends and family do a video for them, which they're still in Australia, and they watch the video. Oh yeah, I really miss my family if they go to Australia. I really miss them, but I just want what's best for them. I just want what's best for them.
That's blind Uncle Terry there.
But I'm gonna miss him so much. And then they get upset because obviously their relatives are crying.
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
And they're being prodded off stage
And
by
then-
a producer.
Yeah, and then they go,
With a laminated stick.
Do something. Do something.
Cry.
God, we need emotion!
And then
Nicky Chapman isn't giving us anything!
Nicky Chapman gives them nothing. I don't even know why she's there. But bear in mind, they're presenting the show themselves going, oh, that's very reasonable. Oh, that was good. Yes, very good, very good. And then at the end vote is obviously, do you want to move to Australia or do you want to stay in the United Kingdom?
Flippity, flippity, flip.
Oh, the laminate. Oh, Australia undecided.
Right.
Whatever. Okay, so I guess that means we'll get an update now on what they actually did. No, the show just ends.
Wait.
So you don't know if they actually made it to Australia at the end.
I'm going to ask you a question that I know the answer to.
Okay,
If they choose Australia, do they get bought a house by the TV show?
definitely not.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
So
They go Australia and they'll all go, oh, that's so exciting. We're going to have such a wonderful life here in Australia.
Credits.
And then credits. But you don't find out if they actually did make it to Australia or not.
So
That's an hour you've spent wondering for some weird reason if they are going to move to Australia. And you don't even find out.
This is why I don't pay for a fucking TV license.
So you know, like those kind of like Judge Judy and
Keep
other
talking.
like please, no, it's fine. Go
Carry on.
You know, like this Judge Judy-esque kind of shows,
Yes.
where it's like they get 2 people up on stage. It's all very script. It's all very kind of. But apparently, the way behind the scenes those shows work is that if you agree to be on the show, they will pay like for your flight to attend.
I think they probably pay for the flight to Australia.
That's what I'm guessing.
I would imagine.
I really hope so. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like,
But then the week that they spend there, like they're in a B&B or something, and they're doing some
They're usually in
activities.
like an Airbnb, for
Sure.
example, like a flat or something.
yeah.
But then feasibly, because you obviously don't find out what happens, they could just be Billy bullshitters, couldn't they?
Yeah, well,
and just
probably.
go, oh yeah, we're thinking of moving to Australia.
Yeah, but you'll get a holiday out of it.
But it doesn't,
Yeah, but you
it
get a
doesn't
free
matter.
holiday.
yeah, and the producers probably don't care because you get a show out of
Exactly.
You
They
get a
show
show of it. Nicky Chapman doesn't have to fly out.
it. Yeah, Nicky Chapman's trapped on
She's
that
in
atoll.
Bognor on the beach filming her links.
I think Nicky Chapman is out there in Australia, and
I don't know. I don't know where she is.
But they never gave her that video of the emotional people back home saying that they
she
miss her.
stayed.
So she doesn't think anyone misses her. So she stayed in Australia.
Yeah, she
That's how they
stayed.
got her.
That would be good, actually.
She just went to the producers. Does anyone miss me? And the producers like, well, we didn't get any video.
We did ask for them.
We asked for videos, but we didn't get video.
Yeah.
That'd be
So-
funny, wouldn't it? If someone went on the show and nobody mailed to make a video. That'd be
'Cause-
pretty good.
We've got your inbox here. Do you want to have a look at it, Nicky? Oh, it's looking a bit empty, isn't it?
That-
But
I mean, that is
holding
just
up a laptop.
It's just a
going-
cardboard box.
Steve, they've
Just
written
written inbox on it. Hotmail. There's no envelopes in this box, is there, Nicky?
Nobody wanted to post anything to you.
Nicky doesn't know how the internet
But
works.
with these shows, often, I mean, it's garbage anyway. The laminate is just hilarious. Anyway,
That's bad.
cheap,
but at the
yeah.
end, normally you'll get an update. Like, let's say first dates, for example. There's the first date
Yeah.
show, and they go on a date and with the cameras. And then they go, "Oh, Steve and Jemima decided not to meet up again. They were texting, but they decided that they just stay friends." At least
Steve
you
was
get,
horribly
at
racist.
least you get some closure. I need to know if the Smith family from Chepstow moved to Australia.
Just as a side note, with like those dating shows, like Take Me Out,
Yeah.
that sort of
But
thing.
you get a follow up. You get
Not the raffle. You know.
you get to see their date. It's not
But they
just
never
you're
skate
off on
together.
a date and then you never see them again.
Has any one of those shows ever had any
People have
chemistry?
People have got married off that show.
Well, I mean, getting married's easy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
anyone can do
anyone.
that.
As you're discovering. Yeah.
I've got a question for you, Chris.
Go on.
Do you still watch a lot of this show?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You
It
show
came on the
remarkable
other day
restraint.
and
It
I
would have
went-
been a lot funnier
And
if
I
you said
thought to
yes.
myself, oh, for fuck's sake. So I put it in my hates list.
Right.
And
I
turned this
thought
on
now
off.
is the time to bring it out.
Yes, let's air this.
I feel I've said this before, but I sat in on. I work in an establishment that happened to be running a. Try and guess which one.
Very naughty.
Which happened to be running a media festival, and they had a bunch of people come in to talk to young people about.
You work for a pizzeria.
I work for a pizzeria.
I do it.
Fat Tony's. They brought these media professionals in to talk about working in the media industry, so predominantly working for television. And I sat in on one of those talks. It was the most terrifying and enlightening thing I'd ever heard, because all these media professionals, hacks. Like a
Oh,
lot of
yeah,
them. It was
most of them are.
completely creatively bankrupt. Like these experts, you know, oh, and here's Nigel, you know, and he's commissioned, you know, he's the guy behind Top Gear. He's the guy behind MasterChef. He wasn't, but, you know, he's like, he created this thing, you know. He created this thing, you know. He created Wanted Down Under, you know. He did all this kind of stuff. And they're like, Nigel, what's your big secret? He goes, well, you know, I just think about what's popular right now. Then I think, how can I copy it?
Yeah.
And
Nigel.
they showed like a trailer for a show, and it was a reality show to pick the best man for like a wedding.
Okay.
So the gimmick was
Right.
the groom can't decide who his best man's going to be.
Oh, no.
So it's going to be a week of challenges where the candidates have to fight each other.
Yeah.
And they had all this footage.
Takeshi's Castle style combat.
Yeah, exactly. And they had all this footage that made it look like a real show. And I was like, okay, well, that just looks like generic nonsense. But okay, I get that, how that could be a show. And then he said, yeah, that's not a real trailer. I just put that together out of like stock footage and things we got from other things. And you can go into like a producer's.
Put that on the screen and
Yeah.
go, fund me,
Yeah.
fund this.
So they go like, what's popular right now? So it might be like, oh, people want to buy homes in luxurious places. So
In China.
They'll be like, Escape to the Country, or I don't know, My French House Dream, or whatever.
Run away
Escape
from
to the
Putin.
Country is marginally better in that you get a throwaway comment at the end of the show.
Yeah.
And at least there's a fucking presenter on that.
Yeah.
The presenter actually takes them to the house.
But how many?
Wanted Down Under, they have to present the show themselves.
They just give them a GoPro and a flight
The
ticket.
cameraman follows them around, but they are presenting the show themselves.
Yeah, but
Madness.
you got to
Why
think.
does Nicky Chapman have to be there?
You've got to think comparatively. Aside from like the cost of flights and stuff, that show has got to be dirt cheap to produce.
This is it. In comparison
yeah.
to standard
Yeah.
TV show.
But you would
budgets.
imagine the people aren't getting any money. Nicky Chapman won't be get paid much because she's doing 2-minute legs.
Well, it's a job,
either
isn't
side.
it? She'll get a salary.
But relatively speaking,
Yeah.
Then you don't have to pay the participants very much because they get their holiday.
They'll get a flight.
They'll get flight and
a
accommodation.
flight and
They'll probably
accommodation
do
for a
accommodation.
week.
and probably a food voucher
Yeah.
every day.
But
One food
lunch.
voucher for the
One
week.
lunch.
I've got to say, like, this is
One
like
stream
90% of what you get on British television.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
this
yeah.
kind of
Especially daytime.
daytime television. Like, how many variants are there on Homes Under the Hammer or Antiques
Bargain hunt.
Bargain Hunt? Yeah.
My question is always: do they take the same laminate to every
That's
location,
money. You wouldn't want to.
or do they let them keep the laminates?
Oh.
Well,
I would want to
I
keep...
mean, I'm not joking. It is a laminated piece of A4 paper. That is literally what it is.
so I'd wager that
Nicky Chapman's not there to sign it, so he's worthless.
Or to keep hold of it. Like,
so there's
give me those laminates back.
Okay, so there's a
Give me that. That's her job. She does the legs and goes, "Give me those laminates."
Give it back. They're very expensive laminates. Give me those whole laminates.
Nicky Chapman on her island of laminates, where she's just like,
I think that's the episode title.
but like, you're gonna have a producer in some London office who's had this brilliant idea. So what you got to do is you've got to put a call out that goes, "Who wants a free week in Australia?" You just got to pretend you want to live there.
Yeah. And also, you need to have a laminator.
You've got to bring your own laminator.
You've got to bring your own laminate. Yeah. I've never met anyone, as far as I know, who wants to move to Australia.
I mean, I'm
sure
they
keep finding them.
I'm sure they exist.
I mean, one of my friends has just moved to Australia.
All right, fine.
I mean, I would want to move to Australia if the saying that would get me a free holiday.
All right, let's
get me away from
let's
Boris Johnson.
extrapolate that. Let's say, I don't know, 0.4% of the population are seriously considering.
Well, this is where all the money goes.
To Australia.
Finding these people.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I reckon you
you
put a bit of bacon on a rope and they'll come to you.
How many episodes of that? I'm going to look it up. How many episodes of that show have they made?
Bacon on the rope is, because that went down our road the other day, and I went chasing after it, but I just wasn't.
It was Nicky Chapman in the back of a white van. Here they come. Here they come.
Here they come. It was just laminated picture of bacon. It wasn't even real bacon.
You're saying like only a certain percentage of the population will ever be inclined to phone into this show, and yet how many people are ever on TV at any one time? Like when I turn on my television, I can at most 4 people. You know,
exactly.
How many people can you fit in a camera shot?
I just think it's very funny that they just picked Australia. I know why.
Sometimes it's New Zealand.
Okay, but it still cuts to the same Nicky
This
Chapman.
show's been running since 2007.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, there is a family updates page on the internet.
There you go. So you're wrong.
But is that a fan made?
Oh, I'm not going to read all that.
I just want to say though, Chris, now that you've discovered
Look at all
that,
them, I'm not going to read all
now you've discovered that, does that turn this into a love?
No.
Okay, I was just checking.
Because it's still shit.
What if, like, I'm cynical and you're cynical, and Nick, who's got the heart of a child, is like, no, this is real. And what if Nicky Chapman spends hours slaving over all these records, going like, we have to find these people.
It's like in the Batcave. She has like loads of screens. It's like, I must find another family who wants to move to Australia.
They're going like, Nicky, you work so hard, so selflessly. You've got to sleep. You've got to look after yourself. He goes,
right.
No, Alfred, I can't.
I must find more Australian families.
I want to my parents and find.
Right,
Alfred, bring me a grilled cheese and make sure you laminate it, you bastard.
There have been 14 series of this show.
Oh God, how long is this?
I'm amazed they even bother to split it
2007.
into series. Why don't they just keep making it?
Okay, 14 seasons.
It doesn't say how many episodes.
Even if it were 10, that's
It's gonna be more than
140 families they found.
I don't know.
for
You
this
find that
scam.
many families.
Can we...
Genuinely, I don't. Maybe I'm naive.
Classifieds, like in your village local, it goes, oh, look at that.
But like, are you thinking of moving to Australia?
Yeah, can you lie convincingly on
Yeah.
camera? So,
Do you like laminates?
Can we get the show on DVD box set?
No, but we should be able
They
to.
lose money for every DVD
Well,
they
according
print.
to the
yeah.
according to the Wikipedia page, there is a version of it called Wanted Down Under Revisited. It says, is a retrospective program
There you go.
catching up with
See,
the
you're
previous
wrong.
families to see if they have moved.
You're
But I
completely
don't
wrong.
remember any of the families, and it's not just that. It's frustrating at the end that I've spent an hour watching it,
An hour?
45 minutes to an hour,
Jesus Christ.
watching
With
it
ad breaks.
to not get an update. But the show itself is just hot garbage.
Has any family ever seen the first house and gone, this is perfect, I'm going to stay here, and the episode was only
Ding, ding,
20
ding.
minutes long?
No, because they still have to go through everything. They still have to go through each round, like do a local activity, speak to the local employers.
Speak to the local witch.
Hello, I work at the paper mill. What sort of wages do you pay at your paper mill? Well, mate, we pay $1,400 dues a month or whatever. Or something else in an Australian accent.
Insert joke here.
Because, but yeah, because like, can you imagine that family who's like, yeah, no, we actually do quite want to move to Australia, and we found them their first house. What do you think in downtown Melbourne? Oh, it's actually perfect. I think this is everything we wanted to. Okay, moving on to the next house. No, wait,
I like this one. No.
We've set up a meeting for, give me 2 names, John, quickly.
Eric.
Karina and Eric. And he goes, And he goes, we've set up a meeting with the head of a local brewery.
Yeah.
All right, mates, you're looking for a job? No, actually, no, I work remotely. I can... all right, yeah, well, you want to be scraping out the mash. That's what we do most days. Yeah.
If you want to be a mash scraper, it pays real good.
The big mash scraper.
Yeah, we don't really pay you, but...
There's a real career ladder, though. You get up to top mash scraper.
You can take as much mash home with you as you can fit in your pockets. Not really an issue. And now the family has to decide: will they stay in Australia? Yeah, no, we're staying in Australia.
Get the laminate.
I don't want to do the laminate thing. We're staying in Australia.
But surely, can't you just have like a graphic? That's what bothers me about the laminate.
That's
Just
really
give them a
expensive.
graphic or something.
When I say Nick, I don't mean this as an insult. Nick could make you an amazing.
That sounded
And,
slightly insulting.
yeah.
It's fine.
It's that I could do it now.
I could do it now. I
Yeah.
could do it now.
Yeah.
I was going to say something else, but it's simpler if I just say
Yeah,
I could do it now.
do it
You
now,
just
yeah.
repeat what you said.
If I had my iPad, I could do better now.
But that's like you'll have the one producer who dreamt of this show, and he's got a freelance cameraman out in Australia doing it,
Yeah.
and maybe like an on-site assistant, and then the family. That's it. A
Yeah.
crew of 2, and he's sitting in his office, and we've got that laminate and that one bloody laminator, and he's got an intern. And the intern's going like, "Hey, maybe instead of the laminated bits of paper, why don't we use a graphic?" He goes, "No, it's
Shut up, Joel!
It's impossible. I could
the
do it."
laminates of the show. That's what everyone tunes in for.
And Joel's like, "I could do it for you now, literally. Like I could run
I've got
upstairs.
After Effects open right now.
Yeah,
Let me do it.
In fact, I've done some of the work. Literally, I just have to press export. Like my cursor is hovering over the button. Nah, it's impossible. No, it can't be done.
Can't be done.
I think the cameraman just sits out there in Australia and then he has a black phone next to him and it just rings when there is a family and it's a call direct from Nicky's Batcave. I found one.
I found a family.
Get out
They're
there.
coming.
It does like, oh my god! Why bother paying a TV license? Honestly, this is awful.
That is the worst example of daytime television, I feel.
I think you're probably right.
Is that the Queen's BBC or is that ITV?
That's BBC. No,
That's even worse.
It's
What a
even
shame.
worse.
yeah.
What a shame.
I feel partially responsible in some way.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a hate.
There you go.
Nick's got a hate.
Oh!
Let's move it on. Let's keep this format running.
Keep it going.
Skyscraper selfies.
What?
Oh.
Those
is
people-
this people who,
Climb up real high
No.
in like big
Don't mind me. Carry on.
big cities, like cities in Dubai or China and stuff.
Yeah.
They climb up super famous skyscrapers illegally,
Yes.
and then they film themselves or they take a picture when they're at the top.
This is when they're trying to like balance on a
Yeah.
scaffold or something.
And they'll go pretty fast, so they won't just ride an elevator to the top floor and then stand on the bit where the visitors all can like spit
Yeah.
into the streets or whatever. No. Then they'll climb up like the aerials that are on top of and they'll stand on what looks like maybe a square foot at the top of and there's nothing.
Yeah.
Literally, if they fell from there and to the top floor of the skyscraper, they die.
People
they're-
have. I'm sure people have.
And people have. Yeah, people have. But this footage, it's that kind of footage where you're just like, it just makes me feel sick.
My palms are getting sweaty thinking
You're making
about
me
it.
feel ill just talking about it. It's
and you see
horrible.
them, and there's like these little buttresses sticking out, and they're like 200 stories up, and they're jumping across these gaps from one to another.
Madness.
I don't like it.
I don't much care for it. I'm going to
No.
be honest with you. I'm getting sweaty just thinking about it, let
Yeah.
alone.
Genuinely, my palms are feeling clammy
Yeah.
thinking about that.
And
there was a Channel 4 show about it a couple of years ago, and it was just madness. It's mainly in Russia, I think.
Yeah, I think it is actually. There's a lot of Russian ones, and there was one really famous one recently where it was a guy who did it a lot, and then he took his girlfriend with him, and the gimmick was, and he did like a little video clip and also like a photo where he hung her over the edge, and he was just holding her wrist, and she was like clamped around his wrist. So it was just one arm. He was lying flat on the top, and he was just hanging her off, and the camera was just mounted on his arm, and she was just like. The only thing preventing her from falling was him.
Oh, I feel ill.
And she was just grinning. Like, she was like, "Whee," like up at the camera, like...
I think
I feel like I've got
sick.
vertigo.
Yeah, that made me
thinking
feel
about
sick.
that.
What's horrifying, though, and I'm going to make it even worse for you all now...
Please.
Is that recently a guy did fall, right?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't that recent. Maybe it was like in the last... Because it wasn't while all this stuff's been going on. So it was probably last year or something. Chinese guy, doing it in China, fell from, like, the top of a building. And... he was filming.
As he fell.
Well,
Oh,
presumably.
God.
Like, that footage isn't anywhere. Like, I hope so, unless it's somewhere on a dark web or something. But that's the scariest thought, is that footage sort of weirdly exists somewhere of this man suddenly, like, realising, oh, fuck, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm not good with heights at the best of times.
No.
And
That's why I brought it up.
Thank you. No, it's great. I was the furthest I've deliberately jumped and fallen, because that's what happens after you jump generally. Was
Not always. Call a scientist.
I was
Just ask this scientician. He'll tell you.
I was in Indonesia, and we spent like a couple of weeks living on a boat.
I know what you're going to tell me. I've heard this story.
You've heard all my stories. I've got nothing
I think
new.
you've done the story.
John's looking at me like I've not heard this story, but that's fine.
No, I just that's to look. I haven't been in a room with you for like 6 months.
What your face reacts
This is my resting face.
Oh, that's it. Yeah,
that's the one.
That was really good.
But it was like a kind of like, it wasn't a big boat, but it stood quite high out the water.
Yeah.
So you had like the main deck.
How high would you say it was?
I'm trying to guess,
In
maybe
stories?
like 20 foot, maybe.
Yeah,
so that's quite quite high. Might have come up to like your second window of your house.
In volumes of Harry Potter?
1.
But lengthways.
Large font for the visually impaired.
Hardback version.
The bumper book.
But yeah, so like you had like the main deck, which was quite high out of the water.
Sure.
So it's like a child's drawing of a boat. It's got like a Phoenici boat or something like that. Like, so a child's drawing of a boat with like a little square house on top of it.
Sure.
And then like another little square house on top, which is where the captain was. So it's like a box on a box on a crudely drawn boat shape.
Sure.
And we were stationary one evening.
Sounds great.
And we were like, let's jump off the top.
Yay!
Let's do it. John loves heights. Let's jump off the top.
Yeah.
So we climbed up we're on at the top bit, the bit you're meant to stand. And then it's like, well, if you climb up onto the railing and then grab the roof, you can pull yourself up because it's just got like a flat roof.
Right.
So you're essentially standing on like a flat shed on top of this building, and you've got this drop. And there was me and 2 other guys whose names I can't remember, probably because of the impact.
Funny enough, I never saw them again.
But we were on top of this damn thing, and not only did you have to jump off, you had to get
Distance.
You had to get distance because you're going to hit that railing otherwise, which was like a good 4 foot or something. I think about it now and I'm like, what the fuck did I do this?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I used to be a relatively good swimmer. So I'm like,
well, it doesn't matter how good a swimmer you are if you're knocked out.
If you smack your shins on a railing.
But I was like, graceful swan dive. And it took some real kind of like, and when we did it, I jumped. And you talk about that guy falling and being conscious all the way down. From like 20 foot, I was in the air long enough to regret it.
Yeah.
Like you're...
I've had that.
Yeah.
I've had that.
Well, what was
I went off the high dive in Norway. So I just jumped off the high diving board, which probably isn't that tall. I don't know how tall a high dive is. Anyway.
I just wouldn't.
I just went feet first.
Yeah, that's probably why.
And I fell long enough to think, goodness, this is certainly taking a long time.
That was a bad idea.
Well, what a whoopsie. I think we may have actually discussed this on the podcast before.
Yeah, because at least you know you're going into water. That's the thing there.
Yeah, but from that height, like a splat is a lot like a splash,
Yeah,
they do say that in a really long fall, you die of shock before you...
You've got to hope, haven't you?
But I think they say that because we need to lie to you.
It's important that you know that.
Yeah.
But like... Or boredom, maybe.
Maybe boredom.
Yeah, maybe boredom.
How long and at what velocity would you need to be falling to fall unconscious? What do you mean?
But unconscious from what? Like...
From the fall?
From the...
Without the impact. So
without the impact.
So you're saying the speed of air rushing past you could knock you out?
Or if you couldn't catch your breath, let's say.
I don't think that can happen.
I don't know. I don't think it would. No. I mean, like...
I think it
probably
would be
get very cold, if you're falling from high enough.
Falling for ages.
Yeah. Because that Felix...
So that's probably bollocks about
Because that Felix
it
Baumgartner guy who jumped from the edge of space.
Oh, yeah.
His issue was he was spinning. So
I remember watching that and I was thinking, that doesn't look good.
I thought he was going to... He basically, like, lost consciousness from, like...
Oh.
Did he actually?
I think he did. I think he... that?
Well, praying. I know. At that point, I don't know. Like
you're closer to God, I guess. There's less interference.
Yeah.
So.
That was oddly moving. That I remember
thinking, wow, at the time.
The footage from in that capsule.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Maybe it made me really want a Red Bull as well.
Why is that?
Do you reckon he had some?
Didn't give him wings, did it?
Beforehand.
He's like,
that's why he was spinning.
Vibrating.
Yeah, just vibrating really quickly.
Yeah, in a way, because I remember hearing years ago, about how it was theoretically possible to take a balloon to the edge of space.
Sure.
And that you'd have to wear a spacesuit. And I remember seeing like this little diagram, and it was like a big ass balloon, and like literally like a raft underneath it, and like a guy on a chair in an astronaut suit. And I was like, oh, that's quaint.
I could do that.
I could do that. It'd be lovely. And then you see the Felix Baumgartner stuff, and I feel for me it'd be less scary if there'd been like rockets, like like some kind of obvious method of propulsion.
But he's in just like a box.
He's hanging.
Yeah,
that's the thing that did my head in. Like he opens the door, and that'd be like as easy as me stepping out my front door.
Yeah,
but it must be pure silence.
Yeah,
for him, that's the thing.
I mean,
you'll never hear less noise.
It's actually deafening. The sound of piss escaping your body, like it's.
Especially in that capsule. If they ever find that capsule, it is just full of human people.
It's like a high-pressure hose.
Yeah.
It's full of empty cans of Red Bull.
Yeah. It's the only thing that
just
got
urine and
because didn't he become like the fastest human like ever, or something stupid like that?
You'd like to think so.
Yeah, you'd hope he got something out of it.
How do you know when to release your parachute, though?
Oh, I wouldn't.
I just wouldn't know. Does he have a little watch? It's like
I'd probably need some element of training.
This is how high I am.
You'd really hope.
They wouldn't just let me do it.
I
would die like quicker than anybody ever has.
New record.
New record, the quickest death.
Well, there comes a point when you realise that like it's all going wrong. Do you try and manoeuvre yourself so you're head first?
But what can you? How would?
I mean, you're going to die either way.
I want to be sure at that point. I don't want to risk it.
God.
There's two people who have. I'm sure there's more. You just don't hear about it. There's two people who have fallen from like insane heights and live.
I've heard a crazy story, about one of these.
Oh, is one about the air hostess?
No.
Oh.
There was a. This is insane. She's still alive now, actually, but she was working as a. No, was she an air hostess or she was like a young woman on a plane back in like the 70s?
Either way, she was on a plane.
She was a human being.
Something happened to the plane. I don't know what happened. Like an engine exploded, but like the plane tore itself apart in midair.
Oh.
And she fell, but she remained in.
Why didn't anybody else fall?
Well, everyone did.
Died.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah, she was the only survivor. But she was German, and this was over like South America. And she ended up still in her seat. I assume other people were like ripped out of their seats.
Yeah.
But there was a chunk of the plane, which was like her row of seats and the toilet. And it was falling, and she was in her seat. And she landed in the tree canopy, and she survived. I think she'd like dislocated her ankle and she'd like burst some blood vessels in her eye.
That's that's unbelievably lucky.
And there's another one. I'll shut up about it. But I think he was a pilot during World War II.
Yeah.
And his bomber got hit over. I think it was over Norway or something, and he fell out of his plane. And no parachute. Like he's like, oh, okay, I'm dead now. And he landed in like some trees and snow. And was absolutely fine.
It's insane.
And apparently the story is he just like sat up, lit a cigarette, and just kind of sat there for a very long time, like thinking about it. I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you wouldn't go and do anything, would you? Like,
no, can you imagine? Yeah. It's terrifying.
I've definitely seen footage of someone whose parachute didn't deploy, or certainly didn't deploy properly, and he was filming it.
Oh.
And he was going by on the video.
See, this is in sync with what I'm talking about now.
But he survived. He landed in some bushes, and I think he broke his leg.
Yeah,
which he would. But he survived.
There was something I want to say.
I swear I've seen that.
There was something. I dreamt that. There was something relatively close to us. I want to say, like where we went to school, there was something in national news about a lady fell and a parachute didn't deploy, and she survived, and she landed in like a field, like not massively far from where we went to school.
I didn't hear about that.
Would you guys parachute jump?
That's a good question.
I would rather parachute jump than bungee jump.
Why?
Because I feel when you bungee jump, the ground is a very real and
present
physical presence in your life. Whereas I feel if I'm up in a plane and I jump, it's almost like a magical. I have less fear.
But the ground's still coming at you.
It's still coming at me.
It's very abstract at that height, though, isn't it?
It's like I can choose to believe the ground doesn't exist at that point. I'm less scared.
You'd be wrong.
I'd be less scared of parachute jumping than I would be of going up a very high building. Because that still freaks me the hell out, going up very high buildings.
Then you wouldn't be one of these skyscraper selfists, then?
God, no. No, you're describing a kind of hell for me.
The only place I've experienced any kind of, and it was very mild, I'm talking very mild, because I'm all right with heights, vertigo was the Shard in London.
Oh, really?
And that's
yes.
because at the very top it's open, so there's no roof. So if you go right to the very top, because you've got the option, you don't have to.
No one's
No
forcing
one's
you.
forcing you. But it's
Up you go.
literally, you've got the top bits of the Shard and it's open. And you can feel the wind coming in, and I just went, oh, fucking hell. Ooh. I feel a bit unsteady on my feet up here.
Jeez.
It was weird. I'm not, and I'm alright with heights, I'm okay.
I wonder whether everyone's got a limit.
Yeah.
I remember going up the CN Tower, and they've got a glass floor up there, and
It's the same floor, just clear.
It's not though, is it? Because
It's the same.
It's made of glass.
Because concrete's made of concrete and glass is made of glass.
It's a special kind of glass, though.
No one ever
It's
threw
the
a ball
same
through a
strength.
concrete window.
It's the same strength. Same strength, just transparent.
Okay.
You just got to tell yourself that.
Would
Yeah.
you feel better if it was transparent aluminium?
Because then I think I might be dreaming because I was in Star Trek.
You would be in
rather
Star
than-
Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the scariest things is the elevator going up the side of the CN Tower because it's quite rapid, and they have like a bunch of people in there at once. And I remember looking to the side, and there was like a gap in the concrete.
Is that meant to be there?
And I was like, that's just open air. That's great.
Oh, I see. Like in the room that you're in. there's a
Yeah,
gap.
in this box, in this cabinet, which is shooting up to pierce Gog's eye or whatever. Like,
We went to Oslo last year. And there's the tallest ski slope in the world there. I think it's the world. It's called Helmenkurlen. Anyway,
it's great.
you can zip wire down it,
Okay.
and that looked quite fun. But you got there, and I was like, that looks really boring. So I was just like, I'm not going to bother.
Do you wish you had now?
Not really, no. I
it look really
remember
boring?
saying to Liz at the time, this is really underwhelming. Like, because there was no, because Norway obviously you associate with snow, but we went in summer.
Right.
So it was literally just a load of concrete. It's like, what am I going to look at if I'm zip lining down here? So I was like, we should come back in winter and I'll do it then.
You're saying it's a lot of money to spend to be going very fast while bored.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like Formula One racing.
Yeah, I don't care for it.
There's a terrifying clip on the internet of a tourist thing you can do. I think it's somewhere in China, and it's really super high up, and it's what looks like it's like a bridge, but instead of it being a consistent walkway, it's like a lot of separate planks.
Right.
And the idea is each they're like concrete, like planks. They're more than a plank basically, but there's a gap between each one of about half a meter,
How
Right.
high up is this?
like death.
Death
High up. You'll fall into what looks like a rainforest down below, but it's death. It's an undoubtable death. And running over the top of this sort of planky bridge is a sort of wire, and you get harnessed to it.
Oh, of course you
And
do.
the game is it's not a game. But
It's not a game. It's not a game. I'm not laughing.
playing.
Life's
You're
not a
lying.
game, Nick.
You jump along these things. You have a bit of a
But
thrill.
you wouldn't fall.
But if you did trip and fall, you'll hang from your harness.
Sure.
Yeah.
But this famous clip on, I think it's
no.
on YouTube, is a guy running along. And he's doing an amazing job. He's like bounding from one to the next. And he's confident because he knows he's not going to fall. And his thing disconnects
Oh no.
from the cable. So now he is just free, but he doesn't know.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So he just keeps going, doopy 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 doop, and he's actually getting more cocky. He's getting a bit more confident. Maybe he does 2 at once. Maybe he tries for 3, and then he arrives on the other side and he's fine. And then he looks around. And he like falls to his knees. He's like, "What?" He just can't believe it at all.
Jesus.
And
Oh
everyone,
my
the
God.
guy filming, and everyone is like, "What?" But he's out of earshot. He can't hear.
You
them.
wouldn't. You almost wouldn't want to break his flow, would you?
Almost
'Cause
you wouldn't,
You,
like,
know,
exactly.
you have to like encourage him. You're doing great.
You're good.
Everyone's really supportive of me.
Oh. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty tough that
Yeah,
one.
it does. As I said, I'm not particularly scared of heights, but the idea of going up really high and just dangling
Yeah.
from someone's arm—that's not being scared of heights. That's being scared of
Well,
death.
even when
Exactly.
That's the difference.
That's a good way of putting
but this
it.
is the
I
thing.
like
Like even when I know the safety harness technology will keep me safe, clearly wanting 1 million. That like
And this is your point about bungee jumping, and
Yeah.
also why I wouldn't either bungee jump or parachute, is that the tech is fine. The tech is fine. But if the tech isn't there, as to say it disconnects, or if the tech fails,
yeah.
then that's it. It's all over. So no. Why would I put my
Yeah.
fate why? No.
We
Just no.
we went to Copenhagen. We had a
Copenhagen.
few
We're
years
also well travelled.
We're very
aren't we?
well travelled, aren't we? What a privileged life we lead. But we
Well, we were well travelled.
I went to
not now.
Yeovil
Went to Yeovil recently.
very recently.
There you go.
So
Went to Cornwall a couple of weeks ago.
do you have any yogurt in the Oval?
no,
No.
don't really like yogurt.
Yo Valley.
Yo Valley,
Yo
yeah.
Valley.
That
yeah.
is around there. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway,
it's
sorry, go on, John.
Yeah, so I went to Copenhagen, famed for its brunch. Oh,
Chef's kiss.
I've never
amazing.
heard of that.
it's so
Neither
good.
have I.
No.
It's astonishing. It's so good. And it's also called, this is a bit of trivia, the City of Spires,
Okay.
which is very cool because it's tons of spires.
Wow.
Well, I deduced that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
because
actually
there's-
hadn't put it together yet.
Because
so
there's a lot
thank
of
you.
spires.
No, I understand.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I get it now. I just hadn't thought
I
of it when
understand.
you said it.
And there's certain, because we were cheap, there were certain, free things you could do around town.
Free spires.
And one was going to this one kind of big church that had a very famous spire that you could go up.
Bungee jump.
And Lucy
Bungee.
was like, "Are you going to be okay with this?" I was like, "Yeah, it'll be fine."
Yeah, mate,
I'm not
spires.
that bad. I'm not
You
that
trying
bad.
to look cool?
Yeah, I was trying to impress,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Your wife.
It's like, oh, it's fine. But we weren't married yet. You see, now,
Oh, okay.
now I don't.
Now
try.
you're fine,
Now I
yeah.
don't try so hard. Yeah, but so there's a bit of a queue. So you're all queuing up, and there's people queuing down because it's very popular. And you start going up like really wide wooden steps.
This is a breeze.
Or we're going up we're inside the church, and then you're inside like the clock tower kind of bit, and it's all getting a bit tighter as you go. And then eventually you get to the spire, and it's a big pointy bit.
Sure.
As spires generally are, like pointing up top of the building. Like so you climb up, and then you're suddenly like outside, and like, oh, this is great. Like I'm now outside the building. And
very high up.
and looking down on the city, and now it's like it's only one up, one down sort of thing. They're not letting people. So in this this pointy bit of the building, there's like a walkway coiling around the spire,
Outside the spire.
outside the spire,
Oh, that row.
hugging the outside of it, and as you climb, the walkway gets tighter.
Sure.
And the barrier wall gets lower.
Well, it's got to.
Yeah, no, you got it, yeah. Oh, you got
Why
it.
wouldn't it?
So it gets to a point
Running
where,
out of budget, the higher you go.
and then there's no
Can't
step.
get as many bricks up high.
And it's not steps, it's like just like a wooden kind of slope, like a
Great.
nightmarish helter-skelter. And the barrier wall, the thing stopping you from falling to your death, is kind of like mid-thigh. And I was
You would
like-
just topple over that.
I know, I was like...
That's just
And I didn't quite...
See, I'm actually getting sweaty palms
Yeah.
thinking about this.
And, like-
the way you're describing it.
And
I don't like it.
And the view was beautiful, but like I could feel the build. Like to my mind, the building is swinging like 30 degrees left and right, and I didn't make it to the top. I was like, no,
About
actually,
enough.
no.
But then are you, because this is the problem with that situation, is
Yeah.
that doubling back is often not an option.
It was a little awkward, I have to say.
So, yeah, there's a big chap coming up behind you. Oh no, I'm sorry, sir. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go between your legs.
No, sir, would you mind? No, I really don't want to be here. No, but I've saved up for years to be here. Okay, I guess we're all
like-
going up together then. I
Yay!
guess. I'm landing on you.
yeah, you're going first.
Big Terry.
Oh God.
I remember, just to finish this off.
Oh please, yeah.
We were in Nottingham on a stag do. I think you were there.
I was in a damn thing with
There
you.
you go.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know this anecdote. Yeah.
We were, the Chero swings. So it's like a tower.
You're gonna have to be a
a
little more
So it's
specific.
like
I
a
think.
tower.
Like a fun fair kind of ride.
Fanfare.
Oh
ride.
sure.
And there's like load of chairs like, on
Hanging.
chains hanging.
Oh yeah,
And it goes up and it swings round and round and round.
Well,
Yeah, and you go out.
sometimes you'll get on one and it will just be at ground level swinging, and then you get these crazy ones which rise
They
up
telescope
like
up.
the
50
one,
stories.
the one we went to do
yeah.
in Nottingham was so high.
Awesome.
So high.
And it's pitch black. It's cold. It's like
can't see
it's
anything.
November. Yeah.
I was sitting next
Yeah,
to
we climbed. We were both
But
drunk. yeah.
I bet your mulled wine was
were-
going
We
everywhere.
were drunk. But then the guy behind us, Pegs, let's call him James P, was just going, oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, you hear stories, don't you? You hear stories.
You were saying that live.
like
yeah.
when he was going
you hear
round.
stories.
You hear
don't you?
stories.
But this was like mixed stag. This wasn't planned. We were already in like going to the pub.
we
stage of
happened
things.
upon it, didn't we?
Yeah, we walked, and in the centre
oh,
of
we'll do
town,
this.
there's a winter wonderland.
Of course there is.
The circus has come to town.
Dale Winton's there.
And we,
I mean, in hindsight, I don't know who put that up, whether they were qualified, if it was going to stay up.
These are
Any-
the
I didn't know
sorts of
any that.
questions we should always ask of travelling fairgrounds.
you should not ask during.
Not during.
no, always before.
It felt very high for a temporary structure.
It felt insanely high for something that rode there on the back of a truck
It was-
that
Yeah.
morning.
It's certainly the highest one of those I've ever been on by a
Yeah,
long, long way.
we felt like we were in the heavens.
Sure.
And of course you get into this metal double 2-person seat.
You're not
And
getting
the-
out of that.
And the only thing holding you in is a single.
one of those bars,
you just
yeah.
lower like a single.
Oh, like a staple.
There's no like highly trained person going around making sure you're harnessed in. We just go click, And then we're up there, and I it seemed to go on forever, and I was like, I feel I'm going to die. Like
I don't know how these things get insured.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, maybe I wouldn't do that.
Insured?
Now. I probably would. But I'm not sure I'd feel good about it.
I'm not sure if the alcohol helped or hindered the experience.
We'll never know.
I was very conscious of the fact that there was maybe 1.5 inches, if I'm being charitable, of leather keeping me from falling to my doom, basically.
I ended that night flagging down police cars in the middle of the road because I didn't know where I was or where I was staying. That's true.
Oh, God.
And were you on your own?
Yeah, and I held out, and I knew the doors to where we were staying were going to shut at a certain time. I think it was 4, something like that.
Oh, God.
So I flagged down a taxi, and I went, take me to wherever we were staying. And he was like, are you sure? It'll be a tenner. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure. It was literally around the corner. So I paid him a tenner, and I was there in 10 seconds. Where we were staying, and he went, that'll be £10, please. I was like,
I remember that night because I fell asleep vertical on the. There was some rock band was playing.
Pop World or something.
It was like a very grungy kind of like.
We went to see a Black Sabbath cover.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, I fell asleep.
And
in
then
the
we
middle
went
of
to
that.
Pop World or something.
Yeah. Oh, hello, Kat. You all right?
You got hate, John?
I'm not done with the anecdote, Nick.
Oh, I see.
Oh, is that into the anecdote?
All I was going to say is that I remember that was the day before I did my green belt Aikido grading.
That's the one where you can manipulate earth elements.
Yeah, basically,
right?
That's where I can kill a man with my mind if I choose. And I had to get up super early the following morning to drive back from Nottingham to do my green belt Aikido.
Forget that.
I remember telling my teacher at the time, I said, I do have a stag do before the green belt was, and he goes, you can do it drunk. That was his advice.
That's great advice.
Best sensei ever.
I'm going to get a beer. Anyone need a beer?
I'll have a beer if you get
a beer, yeah. And then I'll tell you all about my hate.
Oh!
We need to stall them. We need to stall them.
We need to buy time. Okay.
What else is there?
What generally in the world? What else is there?
What else?
Politics.
Oh, don't
do that.
Don't.
Health. No, God, no.
We've just discussed health and hanging off buildings.
How about adventures with friends? Oh no.
Socialite.
There's been sand on my last 2 beers, John. Sand.
Oh, have you got one of those desert fridges?
Got a sandy beer.
Sometimes.
Have you got sand in yours, or have I brought this back from Cornwall?
Well, what's more likely?
Probably the Cornwall.
Probably sand in
What's more likely?
fridge.
That noted clean obsessed John has sand in his fridge.
I didn't bring.
Or you brought sand to my beautiful
Sandy
house.
John. That's what they call
Sandy
you.
John.
Sandy John.
We do all call you that.
No, it probably is that. But although I didn't bring any beers back from Cornwall, so I don't know how those have got in like that. But there
Maybe
we are.
like you just have general grime around you at all
Yeah,
times.
probably.
I've got hate.
Go on then.
Oh.
I hate stock video footage that goes on a little too long.
Remarkably specific.
So over the course of lockdown, we've ended up watching a lot of YouTube.
A lot of stock footage.
A lot
of Getty images.
We're watching a lot of YouTube, and I've come to realise that there are a great many YouTube channels who are basically audio based.
Sure.
So they have a script, they record it. I think a key candidate would be Half as Interesting.
Okay.
Which comes up with like fun little topics, and in 6 minutes will just explain something. You go, oh, that's interesting.
Sure.
But because the format is they write a script and they sit down in front of a mic and they go, okay, 6 minutes. Here's how the Queen stole the King of Norway or something like that. Just Ocean 11.
That Queen, what will she do next?
She used to do all sorts of heists.
This it goes, did you know the Queen can legally kill one person every year? ? And that's a video. But then they've got to make a visual component. So presumably they have a license to some kind of stock video thing.
I hope so.
And their entire 6-minute video is just made up of clips of stock footage.
Illustrating aspects of what they're saying.
So if the guys, say they're talking about money. I think I mentioned on a previous episode about like the time the US government was going to print $1 trillion coin.
Yeah.
I learned about that from one of these videos.
Right.
So it might be like, so that the voiceover might go, now say you're desperately in need of money, and so you need some stock footage.
Sure.
So you go to like your stock footage library, and there might be a clip of like a guy like emptying his pockets.
Yeah.
And going like, and just like looking at the camera going, just gurning.
I'm so skinned.
And presumably, you're meant to only use
A small fraction of that clip.
2 to 3 seconds of that.
Maybe less.
But I'm assuming this poor out of work actor who uploaded this clip to like the stock footage website uploaded it in like a 30-second clip.
Right.
So I imagine I might go, okay, I need like happy man smiling. So I go,
Sure.
okay, search happy man smiling. And you bring up like a 30-second clip of some guy, again, an out of work actor, just trying to make a buck,
He's doing his best.
And he's basically filmed himself looking at the camera, and he crosses his arms and goes, "Huh," like gives like a little chuckle. But the camera keeps.
Then the moment dies.
Yeah, then the moment dies, and the person editing the video doesn't cut the moment you're supposed to cut.
So now you're just left with this dying smile of a man.
And then he does it again because the moment. So it's like. And then he kind of like smiles again, like,
Oh no!
Or it's like, you might go like, okay, I need like a parent,
Right.
like expressing
Smacking
their
their child.
no, like beating their child.
And they're beating them for just too long.
I need like a parent, like an elderly man, expressing his approval.
Fluids. Oh.
What's wrong with you?
I'm just joining in.
I'm just nice to be involved. Expressing his approval of his son, you know. So it's like so you go, okay, Google, search, okay, stock footage, and it's like an elderly man with a white beard and a young buck. He's dressed a little trendily because this is what
He's
we're
got
talking.
a Minecraft hoodie on.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about, like the broadest, most generic strokes. And so the two of them are like, like laughing at each other. And it's very like exaggerated because you want to really get that. And they're both like, oh yes, oh yeah, but can't get any words across. You can never use any language.
Right.
So like he pats him on the back, and then they go, yes, yes, and they're like smiling and nodding, and then they keep nodding, and the camera keeps rolling because they haven't cut, and it gets a little awkward, and then they go, hey,
this guy.
Let's try and do a bit more. Oh.
and then they go in for like a handshake, and they're both
Yeah.
like, oh. Yes.
So they've obviously just been told to get along for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's their
yeah.
brief as the actors.
Yeah, because it's like paint by numbers.
Yeah.
Like there's no subtlety. Yeah, you've got to be as broad as possible.
There's always a sense as well in their eyes where they're looking at the camera operator.
Is
and
this enough?
And like praying and sort of
Yeah.
like pleading with them. But the rest of their mouth and body and everything is still keeping up the act that they're meant to be doing. But then there's this little bit of their eye that's just like, please let us be done.
And cut.
and the cameraman is just not giving them anything back. He's just like,
Keep going.
yeah, just keep it up.
Didn't because Ali is a filmmaker
She is.
and
My wife.
and didn't she? I remember like she found on like a stock video footage website there was like one guy, because I imagine like this is how out of work actors make a bit of money. So one guy had filmed like a whole series of like 10-second clips about like breaking and entering.
Yeah.
So if you were doing like a segment on crime,
Sure.
you go, okay, I need like young vandal
Breaks window and
yeah.
climbs into property.
So it's like he's put on a hoodie,
Yeah.
and he's gone to like a building, like a warehouse, and so it's like he's looking a bit shifty,
Oh,
he's climbing over a fence, little things like that. Didn't Ali like splice them all together to like a
Yeah,
short movie?
well, it was funny because she was doing an ad, I think, for someone who like sold security, like security shutters or alarms or something like that. And quite often when she was at her old job, they would just, in order to keep prices down, they'd be like, oh, let's just find some stock. So she was always trying to find stock.
And then put the logo on it or something.
Yeah, or like cut to the product and then cut back to the stock or whatever. And so she found this footage of a guy breaking in through a window or something. But then she realized, like, sometimes at the bottom of a clip you can see the rest of the group, like, and because there's been a load of them made with the same actor on the same location or whatever. And there was just loads of them, like him trying a door, him climbing up a gutter. But then there were some really creepy ones where he was just like in a bush watching. And it was just like a really long, like 2-minute clip of him in a bush just peeking past some leaves. It was just like, well, what's that one for? There was some really, really, like, really unsettling ones. Like, but yeah, she realised that there was a whole story that could be told, as is quite often the case with stock footage collections. You can put them all together and tell a little bit of a saga.
I wonder if anyone has maybe has this been done? Has anyone made a movie?
Yes, this has been done.
Oh, it has been done.
Yeah.
It's
I've heard of
okay.
this. Yeah. It's really hard to do. You have to play with some tricks and stuff because, of course, your characters change because you can't find the right clip of someone wearing a red t-shirt doing a motorcycle jump, whereas before he was sat on the sofa. But yeah, it is quite a fun challenge. Yeah.
So I feel I don't have a massive amount to actually say or add to that, other than I'm just screaming cut constantly,
and like you are with this podcast right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's all right. We waffle for ages about going up high things. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we haven't engaged with our online community at all.
No.
So should we just? Do
we have anything?
Well, no, like I said, I haven't engaged.
Oh, you haven't? Right, sorry.
Engaged.
I haven't looked.
Do we have anything?
Well, we missed an episode because of you and me. It
was all your fault, guys. I was totally off.
Yeah, Nick couldn't go anywhere. Bless him. Poor,
Yeah.
sickly Nick.
I was trapped, sickly Nick.
Yeah.
Can't go away.
That's my gangster name.
Well, who's got a love then?
I've got a love.
Give us a love.
People selling mirrors. So,
okay.
Here we go.
Here we go then.
Here we go. Come on. Now we've started. So, how would you sell a mirror? So, bear in mind, you have to take a photograph of it.
Oh, you got to take a photo of the mirror.
Oh, you got it.
Oh, I see where this is going.
And I will put these on the group. But I've got some examples for you of people selling mirrors.
This is the inevitable. I'm in the shot.
There's a whole Twitter account dedicated to it.
Mirrors.
It's called People Selling Mirrors, and it's at Selling a Mirror on Twitter.
Amazing.
And I'll show you some pictures. Basically, it's people trying to hide while they're selling, taking photos of their mirrors.
People trying to hide.
Let's see. So
oh, that's fantastic. Oh my god.
So there's a person hiding behind the door. I mean, in a lot of these, you can't actually see the person. You can just see.
But this is like real life. Where's Wally?
You can just see the phone. It is.
Oh my god. He's behind an ironing board.
Hiding behind an ironing board, taking a photo of his mirror.
The thing is,
this is gold.
The thing is, I understand as an adult what a mirror does. Like, I don't need a photo of a reflective bit. Could you? Oh, that's beautiful.
There's a guy hiding behind a towel trying to sell his mirror.
So he stood directly in front of his mirror. He's holding a blanket up.
Yeah,
Two
and
corners.
he's taking a photo, I guess, through a hole in the blanket.
Or maybe his hand is round one edge where he's holding the edge of it.
Possibly, yeah.
But either way, what it looks like is a photo of a man dressed as a ghost.
Pretty much, yeah. I personally would try and take it at an angle rather than being in the shot myself.
Wouldn't you just assume that the mirror bit works? Like, the frame bit is what you care about. So just take it from the side?
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
There are, in fact, on the Twitter account, there are people who say it works perfectly. The mirror.
Works as described.
That's how they describe it in their Facebook Marketplace listing. Works perfectly.
No moving parts.
Jesus Christ.
So I think that is a whole epitaph almost of wonderfulness. It's people selling their own mirrors and making sure they're not in the shot, but at the same time are in the shot.
I remember. Do you remember? Did we talk about this in a previous episode? Like Auntie's Bloomers, like the BBC.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I remember watching an episode of that, and it was like outtakes from EastEnders, and it was like the scene is meant to be two downtrodden working class people are in the lounge, and then the door opens and one of their family members comes in, and she's meant to be holding like a bathroom cabinet or something like that.
Yeah.
And she's meant to say something like, "Do you want this bathroom cabinet?" or something like that. But the problem is, it has a mirror on the front of it. So, like, the outtake is basically like 15 takes of her walking into this room and the mirror instantly showing there's a whole camera crew. And they go, "Nah, try it again." And they come in, there's a camera crew, try it again. Take 16, because she comes back in, someone's ripped the mirror off the front of it. Like, that's the only solution they could come up with.
It's like mirrors are still this magical artifact that we all can't get our heads around.
Apparently, we just cannot work out, yeah.
But I just don't see how you need to be in that picture. Anyway, it's given me a good lot of laughs the last few days going through that.
So what's the Twitter account called again?
It's called
People Selling Mirrors.
Selling a Mirror, at Selling a Mirror.
Brilliant. I'm going to check that out.
I would recommend it.
That's going to provide a lot of...
One of my favourite movie mistakes relates partially to a mirror. It's more of a reflection.
Oh.
It's in The Matrix.
Oh,
yeah.
When Neo turns the doorknob to walk into the Oracle's house,
Oh, yeah.
you can see the camera. Like really, really clearly.
Huh.
Really clearly.
I have a mirror anecdote.
Oh, go on.
I remember when I was about 11 when my family moved house.
Oh.
We actually just moved up the road.
You did, I remember.
About
Because
5.
you used to live next door to where my sister lives now.
Yes,
I
oddly
think.
enough. Yeah.
And now you live slightly up.
Yeah, we
or
moved
your parents live
moved like
slightly up
500 yards up the
the
road.
road. Yeah. Saves on costs.
Yes, it was, actually, I have so little memory from that period, probably because of the fall.
When you
from
jumped
that
off that boat.
But I remember like we had like our spare room, and just because you were like throwing crap in as part of the move, it was just piled high with boxes and junk, and it was like that for ages because it takes ages to like sort through stuff. I remember like one of the biggest scares I ever got in my life was I was trying to reach behind a couple of boxes to get something. And I'm really like in there, like it's like a tower of boxes. I'm like really just like reaching, trying to see. And all I see is a hand reaching for my hand,
God.
and I probably just had a heart attack right then and there.
Yeah, that's giving me some shivers.
Because of course there was a mirror.
it was a mirror.
There was a mirror.
I didn't see that coming.
It wasn't our basement man who we keep chained up. Baseman.
It wasn't your twin brother, Gummo Lock, who lives in the attic.
And eats fish heads.
Yeah, one of us is evil. We haven't worked
Yeah,
out who
yeah.
yet. Yeah.
That would mean the scar is on the wrong side.
But yeah, mirrors, eh?
Mirrors.
Am I
Mirrors.
right?
Who'd have them?
Who'd have them?
Well, me.
Nah.
I'm not sure I'd photograph one the way in which these people have, though.
No, I think you could. I think any one of us. I'd actually wager any one of our listeners could come up with a better way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, challenges on.
Why don't you let us see your mirrors in your house?
Yes.
The majesty of our social areas.
Yeah. Actually, this is a challenge.
Challenge.
We'd like to challenge all our listeners to take a photo of a mirror where you're not in shot and
Yeah.
it looks better than the photo you're imagining right now.
The best photo of a mirror that's not been modified by Photoshop or a similar program wins a prize.
How about there's also a
Don't know what it
prize
is, but-
for whoever obscures themselves in the most creative way?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're asking for the best photo, but we get to define what best
Yeah.
is.
Please,
So
please
if you're
feel free to
completely
do
invisible and we can't work out how,
Yeah.
then you might win.
Yeah, and we'll send the winner a fruit basket.
Will we?
Yeah, why not?
that. Yeah, all right.
Corona fruit basket.
Yeah, we'll send you a fruit
Send
basket.
you a fruit basket that we've all coughed on.
A sterilized fruit basket.
Yeah. So upload your best photo of a mirror to the A Show Called Hate Facebook group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
we're not on Twitter anymore. Really.
No, don't
Forget
cares
that.
about
Who cares
Twitter.
about Twitter?
Twitter's a dead medium. No one's paying attention.
No
to
one's on Twitter anymore.
it. Yeah, we'll judge the winner.
I think I'll enter as well.
How many entries do you think we'll get?
Maybe
Well, if we include mine,
Nick's going to
one.
enter, so that's one.
one, maybe less.
I'm not sending you a fruit basket.
I want the damn fruit
Yeah, well,
basket. Ever since you
I
promised a fruit
kind
basket.
of want it now, actually.
we'll send a fruit basket. This is a promise.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right. This is the first Show Called Hate promise.
All right.
Yeah,
This is a
Trademark.
We've never promised
This is
anything.
our first promise / competition.
We've never promised anything with this show.
Okay.
And we've never disappointed
We
because
can't.
we've never.
So let's see. If people enter because they want the prize, then good for you.
God knows
and
we
we
need some
will
vitamin
honour that.
D.
And if you
Let's
don't
see.
enter, we've saved money on a fruit basket.
Yeah.
So cheers.
We'll get some fruit out of it either way. So
Yeah.
Well, who's got
I've got love.
Nick's got love.
I love it when stories set in the real world want to try and create branded locations, but for whatever reason can't use, like for example, McDonald's.
Okay.
Or something, but they can't use McDonald's because
can't
it's
use McDonald's,
a trademark or whatever. But they want their characters to go to a fast food restaurant, and so they have to make up one, right?
Okay.
And usually they will not put as much effort into coming up with their brand, like eating fast food restaurant, as they will for their whole greater story, because it'll be I need
not. No,
I need a location.
Yeah.
I can't be asked to think for ages, so I'm just going to piss something out. I've been reading Invincible, the comic book series.
Oh, okay.
Very good superhero story, and it's a great story. But he, like Robert Kirkman, who writes this, is really bad for this, and he constantly creates branded locations, but clearly does not spend any time on them at all.
Wait, are they like thinly veiled?
So one of them is. So one of my
Yeah.
examples is Toys Be We. There was a scene. There was a scene in a toy shop, and he called it Toys Be We because he wanted it to be like Toys R Us. I
Sure,
guess.
yeah.
I guess. But like, I mean, that's just garbage.
At what point is it so shit that it's almost like charming.
Yeah, but the thing is, sometimes things are deliberately shit.
Yeah, that's
Is
what
that
I'm wondering,
deliberately shit?
Well, this is right. So that was the first one I saw.
Okay.
I saw Toys Be We, and I was like, so this is his thing. His world is like ours through a mirror.
Sure. Oh,
Segue,
I know,
segue.
mirror, yeah. Everything links in this show. Now.
Yeah, see, we plan it all out.
Australia,
Scripted.
mirrors. Oh, it's got it.
Laminates.
Laminates, they're reflective.
Yeah, okay.
So at first I was like, so that's his game. Like
Yeah.
he's going to name places, but they're going to be spinny, quirky things.
Toys Be We.
And then they went to their McDonald's, and it was called Burger Mart. And I was like, well, that just doesn't work, Rob.
That's a swing and a miss, isn't it?
Mart is like a market, isn't it? Like a.
But
like,
is that supposed? Because what does Walmart mean?
Yeah.
There's a family. They were called like the
Walmarts.
The Waltons or something like that.
But Mart,
Okay.
I feel like Mart is like, you see that in supermarkets, don't you? Something Mart is, it's almost like it's short for
What
market.
does Mart mean?
Yeah, it's
Now that I
kind
think
of-
about
it's
it.
kind of like market, but it's not like you
It
almost
should
want to say
be
Mark.
It should be Walmart. shouldn't it?
Walmart.
We should write to
Marky,
Primark.
Marky Wahlberg. Marky Mark and the Funky
Mark's
Bunch.
Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Mark's Walmart.
We should write to Walmart and tell them they've been getting it wrong.
Yeah, they might thank us.
They probably will.
It just doesn't sound right for a food place.
No.
Like
Burger
It sounds
Mart.
like it's a supermarket where you can acquire frozen meat.
burgers. It's just
Burgers,
aisles and
in
aisles of
particular.
burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I would go to that supermarket.
That actually does sound pretty good.
I'm
yeah.
not sure I'd go to it as a fast food chain though.
But it appears in the story a lot, does Burger Mart. Like the main character works there. And
That's
it's just,
quite weak.
it's really
that's quite
just
weak.
Didn't,
Yeah.
What
didn't
would you
really
call
try.
an unlicensed fast
Well, I
food?
had to do this in
Okay,
Catamaran.
here we
I
go.
did a couple of jokes where they go to their McDonald's equivalent. And mine was lazy as well. But I think it's better than Burger Mart. Mine was McChubbins.
That's very good.
But it's lazy because I borrowed the muck from McDonald's.
Yeah.
So I'm using some shorthand there.
I might go for like Slab Shack or something like that. Go on, Rev.
The thing is, I'd go left field and call it like the Grill Emporium. Or something
Oh,
like
that's
that.
high end. I'd go the other way and I'd call it the meat hole.
I wouldn't be comfortable eating at the Grill Emporium. I feel like I'd lost my place with a common man.
That's
I should
true.
call it like mostly meat.
Mostly, that's really bad. I mean, it's good
I know.
from the perspective
But
it's
mostly
funny.
meat in that is what the burgers contain, and vegetarian options.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I guess if you're serving chips, they're not meat, unless they're meat chips.
And McDonald's do salad now. But if anyone's going to McDonald's for a salad, you need to really, really look at yourself.
I mean, let's think about this. McDonald's
In the
do
mirror
salad.
that you'll take a photo
They
of
serve
yourself.
salad in a cup.
And apple slices in a bag.
I mean, it's not salad, is it? If it's in a cup with a
How
straw.
many salads do you think McDonald's sell? Seriously.
7 or 8 a week.
I feel that's like they get a tax break if they say they're selling a salad.
I'm sure they make money somehow out of it. But I don't know anyone who's ever gone to McDonald's for a salad.
I like the idea that if you order a McDonald's salad, they look you dead in the eye and they reach down into the hot plate and they take out a burger and they rip that burger into pieces.
And then they spray paint it green.
Every time you order a salad, a burger dies.
They make you watch as well. But you finish it off.
But seriously, though, the three of us just then made up better names than
Yeah,
Burger
arguably,
Mart.
yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I reckon if we went around the table again, we'd all come up with an also amazing
Yeah,
name.
go on then.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Steamed hams.
Wet drippings.
Spats.
It sounds like a sort of like trade B&Q type place. Going down to Spats for some 2B4.
Yeah, because it's like
Oh, it's like
spatulas.
spitting-
Spatulas.
Oh, spatulas.
Yeah, I'm not spitting in it.
No.
No, that's
I meant like spitting grease or whatever from
yeah.
frying.
It's just spats.
It's just spats, mate.
Spatzos.
and in the early
Spats.
90s, they rebranded with a Z. So
Yeah.
like
'Cause it was
spats
radical.
And now it's like a backwards Z.
with
So
an
it
at
doesn't have an S.
symbol in place of an A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
it's now an internet
That's
cafe.
brilliant.
Spats.
It's like an explosion of spit. As the
What
logo.
would be the main burger at your establishment? Like, is it the Whopper? Is it the Big Mac?
Oh, yeah. I had to do this, I think, for Catamaran as well, and I can't remember what I came up with.
It's the forced entry.
Oh.
Mine would be the Emporium's New Groove.
I would just have mine wouldn't be a burger, it would just be a bag of fried grumblings. And I don't know what they are. But it's famous for them. Oh yeah, another bag of fried crumblies.
Oh God.
Oh.
Oh, I missed this.
Should have brought my inhaler with me. God.
Oh, Jesus
There's
Christ.
still sand on my beer.
Jesus Christ, a bag of fried crumblies.
What was the burger fan called again?
The what?
Your
Your
brand.
business.
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
The grumblings.
Probably McChubbins still. Still McChubbins.
Oh my God.
Where were we?
Oh yeah, you've got you got a love.
I've got a love. Oh my God. I love going to the optician.
Oh God.
I went to the optician recently and I got some new glasses which I'm not currently wearing because they
Pretty good then.
they may have got them slightly wrong because they hurt my eyes when I wear them.
Oh, that's not what you want at all.
Yeah, I'm going back next week to get them fixed, but
Now,
yeah.
Yeah.
what happens at the opticians
Like now or in general?
in general?
They can't touch you.
Well, they
Like, if I was like, hello, Mr. Optician, I require an appointment and a checkup on my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm genuine when I say I've not been to the optician probably for 20 years.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can, Nick. That was a little eyesight joke.
It was very quick
That
as
was
well.
very-
It was
that's very
very
good,
good. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I genuinely don't think I've been since I was about 12.
Well, I haven't been in about 5 years, so I'd left it a bit too late. But I think you meant to get it checked every couple of years or so.
Oh, right, there we are. Never mind.
Yeah.
But what do you have to do the wall chart thing?
Yeah. They got
all that.
they got all manner of machines now.
Oh.
Like you go in and the initial testing is like you put your head in like this little box, and they've got like one eye at a time,
Right.
and there's like a ton of lights like blinking in like.
I
Different...
did this one, and you got to
Yeah.
look in the middle.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
They
yeah.
blink all around, and it's kind of testing your peripheral.
You have to
vision.
press a
You've
button.
Click a
when you
button,
see it.
haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they've got another. Oh god, we got another one. It's like I can't remember it. It varies, I feel, but like
I'm with you on this because I feel like it's kind of like going to an arcade, but the great thing is that you sit in one chair and the arcade master brings you different games to play.
Nice.
And some of the games are like press a button when you see a light, and some of the games are can you see through one red lens and one green lens.
Right.
You know,
it makes you feel very special.
it does.
Yeah. I feel ultimately that's what does it for me.
See, I'm now like winking with my eyes because I feel like my right eye is a bit blurrier than my left eye.
Yeah, because you've never had to worry with glasses,
No.
have you? No.
I've got 20/20 vision, perfect
How'd you know?
teeth, and I can hear really well.
What?
What?
Pardon?
Oh. Okay.
We all made that change.
Come again?
Look at us. You know, a bunch of cards.
But no, I do actually feel like my right eye is a bit blurrier these days. So
You should
maybe I
probably-
do
you
need to go to
should
the
probably get it
opticians.
seen to.
Yeah.
I mean, like getting the actual test is only, 20, 30 quid.
No,
I
I
had a
don't have that
test.
to spare.
A couple of years ago, I had a test, and I hadn't had one for about 10 years before
Yeah.
that. And they were like, "You have the greatest eyes we've ever seen." And I'm
Yeah.
like, I do not know.
Oh, fuck you.
You are like a mutant, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Which is weird because like you use your eyes a lot.
And I look at lots
Yeah.
of little
Every day,
screeny
almost.
things.
Yeah.
I use
Nearly
my
every day.
eyes.
I use
Nick's a big starer. I've often felt that, like, really like,
Oh, don't.
piercing and drilling into your head.
Yeah.
But no, because I've worn glasses from a very young age, and I feel
That's why we used to bully him.
yeah, no, and he was right to do so.
I asked for it.
I just shouldn't have turned up. That was my own problem.
That was, yeah.
But I feel like even now, like because I haven't been in, like I said, 5 years or so, and I've left it too long. But going back to the optician last week, it just ticks every box from like when you're a kid, and it's like getting, you don't get a sticker, you don't get a lolly. But like,
Oh, that's bullshit.
But it doesn't. None of it hurts.
no, it doesn't hurt.
You just get to try shit out.
I get to sit in a chair and feel very special.
And
it
they
comfortable
bring
chair?
machines to you.
Is it a nice chair?
Hey,
It's
yeah,
all right.
It's all right, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's slightly
No, I should
raised,
go,
so you
shouldn't
feel
I?
important.
You should
yeah.
go, really, yeah.
I will go.
Yeah.
I mean, one of your eyes is bleeding right now. So
Oh my god, not again.
probably go.
I mean, one of your eyes does rotate constantly, which is
Yeah.
quite distracting, but I feel you're okay. You know,
I think it'll be fine. But I can read like street signs from the end of the street. Depending on how big of the street is.
la-di-da.
Yeah.
So my eyesight's always been pretty good.
How many fingers am I holding up?
One of them.
Exactly. Yeah.
The hardest part.
That's good enough.
That's close enough.
The
Your
hardest,
brother is an optometrist.
my
Yeah.
brother.
Do you?
Did you
is
go
your
to
brother
him?
your optometrist?
He would give me mates rates,
But is it a conflict of interest?
no, he would. He's very happy to do so. But
Yes, you'll ace the Formula 1 test. Off you go.
You could be a pilot.
Yeah.
but he was too busy. He couldn't fit me in.
Too busy for his own brother.
for his own brother.
Too busy
Yeah.
for.
What's
Unbelievable.
happened?
Clear my schedule are 3 words he clearly doesn't know.
Yeah.
What's happened with his country?
I know,
eh?
right?
But, you know,
You can't even get an appointment with your own brother.
With your own brother.
I
I blame Boris, to be honest.
Yeah, I blame the scapegoats.
my my granddad was he was a captain in the Merchant Navy, and he quite proudly tells me how he apparently when you're a captain of a ship with many people on board, having good eyesight is quite important.
You'd think.
You'd think, wouldn't you? You don't want to hit.
I think.
You don't want to hit, say, another boat or
An iceberg.
an island
Or
or
an island.
or a country. You don't want to drive into anything.
Oh,
no,
India.
You wouldn't want
Whoops.
to do that.
So he had to do an eye test to, kind of say like, "Hey, can you see?"
yeah.
Hey, bro.
And
Can you even see, bro?
And he's known.
Imagine that you're in the war. Hey, bro.
Hey,
man.
bro, dude. Bro.
Brosif.
Can you see, bro?
Hey, bro, hear him.
do you look?
He's
bro?
he's worn glasses like as long as I've known him. And he certainly needed glasses as a younger man. But there was this brand new technology called contact lenses.
Whoa.
So he put some contact lenses on, which I think he got in
God.
China, and he took his captaincy eye test.
Oh,
They were
you're
like,
kidding me.
"My God, he's got perfect vision."
Time.
They never brought it up again. Yeah,
So you're going to get tested once, and that's it.
yeah, he's fine. It was a different time.
Yeah. Cool. And he only sank like
Can't
7 or
see
8
any
ships.
negative repercussions from that.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Most people survived from his ships. Most of the people.
yeah.
So
At least 72%.
He did tell me a story about how when he was very young, when he was new to a boat.
new to a boat.
We're all
New
new,
to a boat.
new to a boat
We're
once.
all green around the ears,
Green around the boats.
on our first boat. And he said apparently they were in a storm and they were shipping these big barrels
Sure.
of something. They don't know what was in
Probably
those barrels.
people.
Some kind of liquid.
People or beer.
But in this big storm, the boat's rocking and the barrels get loose.
Sure.
So these barrels are kind of like sliding from one side of the ship to the other.
Barrels.
And as the waves are kind of like
Big barrels.
as the waves are swinging the ship and these barrels are sloshing like back and forth, the momentum's building up.
Oh.
So the ship is swinging more and more, and the captain's like, if we don't stop this, the ship's going to flip right over.
And do a sweet 180.
So he said basically like every seaman, you won't laugh in a minute. Every person on ship, grab your axe. I want you to grab your axe, run down, and break those barrels open.
Yikes, yikes, yikes.
We've got to shift the weight.
Is that the best way to do it?
So my granddad was running down to do it, and he realised he'd left his axe in a different place.
Oh,
So
you're kidding.
he ran in the other direction to go get his axe, and when he came back, like with the axe ready to go, everyone was dead
Fuck me.
because apparently the chemical in those barrels
Oh no.
was like toxic, and it just like killed everyone like the moment they burst it open.
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow! That's a cheerful note to end on, isn't it?
Yeah, on this comedy podcast.
I've got nowhere to go.
Anyway, the moral of the story is that was a very long time ago.
Moral of the
so-
story is
Don't
don't
shoot
break
barrels.
open a barrel with an axe unless you definitely know it's not.
You'd think he'd know what was inside his own shit.
He did say that the captain was a drunk.
Okay, well,
I mean, to be honest, that is on the captain.
he'd been drinking what was in the barrels.
And he turned out right.
He turned out right.
He turned out right.
He made some
yeah.
sound decisions and killed his whole crew. So
I love, like, genuinely, I love stuff like that. Not all the people dying, but
No.
But like, if your granddad had left his axe where he'd supposed to have left it, you wouldn't be.
I
here
probably
now.
wouldn't
it's
be
a
here right
splitting
now.
point in reality. It's,
Yeah.
it's a perfect moment of if he did have his
Yeah.
axe, he would have died. But that he didn't. Like time diverged at that point.
Yeah.
And we're in the light timeline? Question mark.
He did have some mad little stories. Like he showed me like an old newspaper clipping of how they'd rescued a Japanese ship from sinking like back in the 50s, and like there was this big storm and they got like a distress call that like the ship was going down.
Wow.
And they just happened to be near, so they went to like help.
This is like classic adventure stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like back in the 50s when you could have adventures.
Yeah.
You know,
There were adventures to be had.
it was a lawless
You were allowed to do stuff.
Netherland, yeah. And they apparently like the sea was so choppy that they deliberately poured fuel onto the waves
Right.
because that was apparently like heavier than the water,
Oh.
and it apparently calms the waves a bit.
Wow.
And he hopped on a boat and they rowed across to this ship
Across the burning ocean.
across the burning ocean.
Fire.
I mean, they didn't have to set it on fire, but it seemed
God, it just added so much atmosphere.
they
there,
were all
like-
smoking constantly. So.
Let's be honest.
Something was bound to happen eventually.
It's the 50s. Let's just set the ocean on fire. It's the 50s, guys.
I mean, we've got two options. We can stop smoking, or
Don't even finish that sentence, boy.
that's a good note to end on.
Yeah. Well, what do we think won? I think love won. I'm going out there.
I'm going to say hate.
Yay! Which means it comes down to
Deciding vote.
It all comes down to
I
John.
somehow knew it would always come down to this. I think it's love.
Yeah.
And also a meta note.
Oh,
I've enjoyed doing this. This has been very nice.
this has been
We're
nice.
back to sort of normal.
And I think the energy.
The energy's been high.
Although, having
was
said that, this is
yeah.
the first time we've done one in this room.
yeah.
That's
So
true.
it's not normal,
But
No.
we did drink quite a lot.
which is normal.
That's true.
Yeah. It's maybe like a little more than usual.
A little more normal than usual.
No, I said a little more drunk.
Yeah,
than
probably a little
usual.
more drunk.
Well, it depends which episode you've listened to
That is
previously.
true.
Yeah.
The champagne
no.
episode.
sh-
Maybe not.
The Christmas 2018
The
episode.
legendary champagne episode.
I don't remember Christmas 2018.
That's a good episode. And
Mostly because of that incident, yeah.
well, you put out an apology for that episode, and I subsequently withdrew it.
That's
how it works.
Was that the champaign episode?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was a Christmas. It was Christmas.
It was a Christmas.
It was
we
like
had leftover champagne at
yeah.
Christmas, didn't we?
It was like the 23rd of December. We recorded that.
Was it?
It was something like that.
monsters.
And we just got pissed.
I
'cause it
think
was
we should
Christmas.
do another champagne episode. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I very much like champagne.
I know you do.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a problem.
Like, it's really wonderful. Oddly
Yeah, we
enough,
should.
God, what was it? I swear. Yeah, no, actually, oddly enough, I think my dad and my mom broke open the very last bottle of champagne from our wedding.
I thought you were going to say that was the first episode of Show Called Hate they listened to. And I was like, oh no. What? So they've just recently broke open the last bottle?
It's all gone now.
That was
Yeah,
a lot of champagne.
it was a lot of champagne.
Considering
Yeah.
your parents drink a bottle a day, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah, if they're feeling restrained.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's just average it out.
But no, I think it's officially. Yeah, I think that means we're officially married now.
Yeah. It's
Like
all
when,
over.
when you
I
finally
think that is how society sees
when
it.
you finally break the champagne seal. Champagne seal. Yeah.
Easy for you to say.
Well.
All right. Well, love wins.
Well, I guess until the next spike in coronavirus, this is
This is the new normal.
we're back.
We're back to what is sort of regular.
You can
Yeah.
expect more garbage like this.
Yes, exactly like this.
Exactly like it.
Word for word. This is all totally scripted.
Oh, of course. Good. How are we going to sign off?
Oh, you know.
Oh, we'll just turn over the page to the sign off.
Cough. He was talking about like jobs he's had which he hated, and he said he arrived at this one place because he's a freelancer, and they got him like a couple of weeks working for like some design agency, and he drove up in his car, and they had a fun slide going from the top floor of their building